Hello. How are you? What's today? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday, Mike Stevens. How did you get back in the building? Mike, every time we break up, you just I don't know, you never want to take no for an answer. All right, Mike, listen, we're going to try for our 387th time to do this. Last time it lasted about, how long did it last? Not even 2 minutes. So you know the drill. I'm not going to bore everybody with the ground rules. Yes, we're going to give Mike chance 347, subsection B. But you know my thoughts on, you know, our minimum standards of behavior around here. This is a pretty like loosey goosey kind of shit show over here. So as long as Mike is not, you know, and when in doubt, just ask and I'll make the final determination. I am curious though how Mike keeps getting back in the door. I think I know. But whatever. It is what it is. I'm a benevolent queen over here. Hey, literally Davis fan, Kit Brinch, how you doing? Jasmina, how are you? America's Next Top Mod, Dis-I-Am. K Mash H, how are ya? Interstitial fluid, I got it. Hey Clancy, we meet again. Truth hurts, my goodness. Is that not truer words were never spoken? The truth does hurt, doesn't it? Damn, sometimes it hurts real bad. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't tell it. Well, I don't know. There's truth, and then there's, little white lies that we tell people just to, not appear like horrible human beings. Like when your bestie or your girlfriend or your wife or whatever comes out and says, "Honey, does this outfit make my ass look fat?" Listen, my husband knows. My husband's a very smart man, and he learned many decades ago, long before he knew me. Yeah, the answer to that question is always unequivocally, no, honey, it looks great. Bama Beauty, how are you? Cool Gamer, how are you? Oh, well, kids, there's really no big agenda right now. Oh my goodness. At the present time, the plague is running through my house. Fingers crossed it does not decide to grace me with its presence. Yes, I believe the doctor said it was a GI virus. And I'm like, well, isn't GI like the southernmost region? This is more of a from the shoulders up issue, like projectile vomiting and such. Not presently making an appearance at. It's only made an appearance in one location. Let's hope it stays that way. Y'all, I highly recommend, if you have never used the services of Doctor on Demand, it's amazing. Clearly if you have a body part that appears to be broken or, in need of a needle and thread, well, you're not going to use Doctor on Demand. But for something where you just feel like shit and you don't want to get up and go to the walk-in or the regular doc in the box, as I like to call them, or, your primary can't get you in quick enough. So, and they take insurance, most insurances, I believe. And it's like, well, it used to be about $50, and I think now it's anywhere between 50 and 75. depending on what kind of insurance you have. And you can get discount codes too. So it's the greatest thing. Like, you just FaceTime with the doctor, and then you tell them what pharmacy is the most convenient, and they send your script if need be. In this case, it was just a anti-nausea Zofran script. So good to know. Hey, Liza, how are you? I said it's called Doctor on Demand. It's not called Magician on Demand. We would need a magician, a lot of prayers, and a miracle to aid poor Betty's hair. Oh goodness. I actually pulled up a little clip that I've got queued up of Betty on her broom at a BOCC meeting. I do believe I have already told you all what it would take to get me to a BOCC meeting. Yeah, it's 2 words: eminent domain. That's what's getting Lisa to the BOCC. But unlike myself, Betty, I mean, she relishes in every opportunity to go flex her non-existent influence wherever she can. And Betty, now, girl, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in for someone such as yourself, who is such an important. I think she called herself an activist in this meeting. Betty, the wardrobe. How do you hold yourself out as all these things, and you flew up to that podium literally like she just got off her broom that she parked out in the hall, and she is so pissed. You can hear it in her voice. It's kind of like, whoa, are you serious? You're like this fucking twisted up because someone is holding some kind of phone. I think she called it an interview without her being made aware of it. Hey, Mama Bear. Oh, thank you. That is very sweet of you. This is actually, this is a Spanx, what Spanx calls arm tights. And it's one of those things, like, I can wear it here because the camera is only from here up, but the shirt is only like this big. And it's real super thin, and it's great for like underneath the jacket, or like in the wintertime. If you look at the website, she shows these arm tights underneath, like if you've got a dress you really love, but it's sleeveless and it's too cool, you buy the arm tights and voila. Oh, hey, Cece Jones. Well, thank you so much. I'm very partial to pink myself. I don't know what it is. The minute I step in this room, my nose starts to kind of run. It's the weirdest thing. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the house. Hey, SoFlo Mama, how you doing? This I am. Yes, she had on cutoff shorts and a t-shirt. Fortunately, the t-shirt had sleeves. Thank you, Jesus. Liza, no, I had no flipping clue what she was talking about, because very little that she says usually do I understand. But we're gonna listen to it. Don't worry. I think she was butthurt because someone within the BOCC was conducting some kind of, I swear she kept calling it an interview. And, Betty wants it all done in the sunshine. In Florida, we have what we call the the sunshine law, the sunshine rule, and it's just what it says, what it sounds like. Shine the light on everything in government. But you know, of course, Betty, being the maniacal little control freak that she is, I mean, I get the impression like she wants access to probably anyone who calls Manatee County government for any reason whatsoever. Betty thinks that she should be privy because she's got her 3 minutes at the podium. And my God, I wonder if that's why her voice was all like shaky and out of breath. And not for nothing, we're going to do a little side-by-side comparison, shall we? Because I do believe I have said that lately, Betty appears to be sitting in front of a Klieg light of sorts. You know, something that lights football stadiums and Grauman's Chinese Theater when they have a, you know, back in the day when the old Hollywood stars would come to a movie premiere. You know, they look like kettle drums and they usually spin. And you can see up in the sky like the beams from the lights. Yeah, that's what Betty's sitting in front of, quite apparently. And apparently her hair's got its own filter nowadays. Well, I mean, she ain't wrong there. But quite interestingly, where's Waldo? Think where's Waldo? But instead it's where's Betty? Where's Betty going? Well, follow the dollar bills. That would be that'd be my guess as to where old Bullhorn's going. Because as she's sitting in the airport shoving food down her pie hole, which, Betty, why do you do that shit? Nobody wants to see you eat. And do you know what a tool, hell, a whole tool bag, a whole tool belt. Do you know what a tool you look like sitting in the airport, live streaming yourself like you're some fucking celebrity? I mean, little kids are walking by looking, and you know they're like, Mommy, who's that lady over there? Why is she doing that? Honey, I don't know. Keep walking. As she's shoving bacon and eggs in her face, like, Betty. And she complained on and on. Oh, I was so busy yesterday. I didn't eat one thing. I didn't get one piece of food in my mouth. Girl, missing a meal is not going to hurt you. Just saying. But yes, I'm not going to tell you all where I'm going yet. Maybe Mike Stevens knows. Mike, did you, never mind. I'm not going to feed the beast. Betty wants to be her town's Karen. She is her town's Karen. Mission accomplished. Oh, curious idea. Don't worry. She's not. She's just one of the small things on the agenda. Hey, Ange Carter, how you doing? Or something. Crazy Dukes. Yeah, I like that. Oh, SoFlo Mama. You know, my Nordstrom carries Skims. I've never tried them though. I was going to. Just to protect the position. Wait, what am I missing? She already is. Oh, okay. Never mind. I get it. Okay, so there's that. I am going to throw the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and shoot the shiz. Because here's the last thing I heard today, and it was from yesterday, or last night's Queen Bee. JLR has apparently, oh, Ange, I'm glad you said that, y'all. I'm streaming from 2 channels. Chats do not merge. I see them as one. So if you see me reading a comment or talking to somebody that you don't see in your chat, go to the other channel. I keep saying that I'm gonna stop streaming from both at the same time. And somebody had a really good idea. The reason I did it in the first place was because when I came back here, Crimes and Fashion started from zero subs. And amazingly, it has surpassed the other channel. That channel had 300 some odd subs when I came back. So I just changed the name of what used to be called Reality Bites. I changed to Fashionistas, Felons, and Fruit Loops. Because listen, I mean, trust me, I am not the queen of hashtagging. I'm not the queen of adding. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to promoting myself. I mean, there's only so much I'm willing to do. And however, that doesn't mean that I'm stupid. So I thought, okay, when I'm coming back, starting from baseline 0, I changed what used to be Reality Bites, and there was very little content on it. Changed that to Fashionistas, Felons, and Fruit Loops, and then reincarnated Crimes and Fashion, mainly because it had the name. I was hoping that there would be name recognition there from people who, knew me when I was here before, and I wasn't starting completely from ground zero. So, now that Crimes and Fashion has surpassed Fashionistas, Felons, and Fruit Loops, what I need to do is, someone had a great suggestion, stream from one and then just upload the video to the other one. So the content is basically going to be the same. Okay, so last I heard, the JLR supposedly has filed suit against Uni. I mean, the plot thickens. I did hear the real Lady Justice, who did, I believe she said she did see the filing in the system. But why am I thinking that she said the federal filing system? Because he is not allowed. He has been designated a vexatious litigant, at least in the federal realm. And yep, Steve McRae, it is, and I'm going to throw the link out in a minute. So I do believe she said that if he was in the federal realm, see, this is the part I'm not clear on, that it would have to be, what was the word Lady Justice used? It was a legal term, pro forma maybe. Basically, it has to be done by a lawyer. And it's kind of like, okay. And she said the federal system, they don't play. It's a very high bar. And it's not like Betty going to the BOCC meeting. So for a lawyer to even take his case on would kind of be indicative of the fact that it would have merit, I would imagine. That's kind of what I got. But why would he be suing him in federal court? What? And there was something else. Didn't Queen Bee read the actual filing from the county website where it was filed? I think she did. I only got through not even the first hour and a half, about the first hour and a half. I've had a lot of crap. Pro forma, yes. Okay, so I'm going to put the link out in just 1 minute, and then whoever wants to come up and fill me in. Oh, you have the filing downloaded. Okay. Oh, Amy, who's going over it? Whoever it is, they know more than me, I would imagine. But I do have legal background, so I'm not, it's not as if I have absolutely, no clue what some of these things mean. Okay, so Liza says he can sue if his case is facts and not frivolous. Yeah, and I know he's been designated a vexatious litigant. So, oh, Charlotte on the web. I like Charlotte. I've listened to her several times. Here's the thing. I don't know about all of the KJ. What do they call them? The caters. That. My goodness. I hope I never have a nickname for a whole big old group of people who hate my guts. That okay, so that's the last I heard, that there indeed has been a filing. And I do believe I also heard Real Lady Justice say that, because I know what myself and several other people I've heard talk, we naturally. Oh, okay, Liza, and I did listen to Heel's video this morning. She's always my first one. But I know myself, as well as probably everybody out there within the sound of my voice, has said some version of the following. How the hell can his reputation be damaged? And Real Lady Justice said there absolutely are things that, I think there were things in the filings that he really could, that had merit. Now, I only listened to the first few minutes of her, so that's why I'm saying I don't. And I don't know. YouTube is, God. I know. I noticed the other day in Queen Bee's, the we'll just call it the like issue. I was in her live, and I mean, it had only been on for minutes. Hey, London girl, how you doing? It had only been on for a few minutes, and I looked over to hit the like button, and yeah, there was like 6,000 likes. So there is definitely some weird juju going on in this place. Dash X. Dar, are you in there? Wow. We have a blue blood amongst us. For those of you, unless I'm got the wrong acronym, but when I hear that, I'm thinking Daughters of the American Revolution. Is that correct? And thank you very much for the lovely compliment. I appreciate that. Oh, Jess, you saw something too? Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this place, and probably never will. Okay, so let me I'm going to put the link out. You do not have to appear on camera. Just show me your face, but if I don't know you, before I let you up. Listen, I'm not, you know how I roll over here. We're pretty, it's pretty chill. Hey, Brick with Eyes. Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm trying to get up to speed on all the latest and greatest. I've got Betty's BOCC meeting queued up. And we are talking about a little bit about, oh, Dash. Yes, I do. Like I said, a blue blood in our midst. So yeah, lawsuit gate, which is now turned into, I'm sorry, letter gate, which is turned to lawsuit gate. Okay. Hold on 1 minute. I'm going to add you to the stream. Hi.
Well, hello. My coffee's like extremely hot, so sorry. Ooh, I literally just made this.
Oh, I know how that is.
Ooh.
That's when you have to make that choice. Do you want to scald your tongue or your esophagus?
No, I like the
not for the tongue.
No, I like the female layer on my tongue. I want to keep the top layer skin. It's hot. It's just fresh. Anyways, hi, nice to talk to you.
Hi, how are you?
I hear you have some questions.
Oh, well, I've always got. I got lots of questions.
That's hot.
So
not joking.
I heard your name being thrown around the other day, but I don't. You and I have never talked. I've never seen you in a chat. So tell me.
Yeah, my name gets around for some reason because I mean I've been around for about 10 years on YouTube, and Unirock and I go way back. I'm not originally the OG. There was a couple people before me that he screwed over, but I was like one of the biggest ones. And it was during a time when I have a channel called the Non Sequitur Show, which was a popular channel, and he was doing some coverage on it, and I liked his coverage, so I reached out to him, and basically, we stuck up a little bit of a friendship until he started to put out misinformation to his audience, and I said to him, I can't be around that. So he teamed up with another person that I was going to sue, and just had a massive defaming campaign for I don't know, like 3 years. Made about 700 videos about me, accusing me of the most deplorable things. I mean, just absolutely unimaginable things. And yeah, I wanted to sue him too, but he wasn't worth anything to sue. That's kind of why I like this JLR suit, because he's only suing him for $25,000, which is not an exceptional amount, right? It's something that he could either kind of pay off, or I'm thinking that JLR kind of wants his channel taken down, or at least penance of some kind.
His name out there. JLR doesn't.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think it's got anything to do with money.
No, I don't either. I think it's for reputation, and I think it's for exposure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that's fine with me. I don't care. I don't know nothing about JLR. I really don't want to know much about him. It's just no interest to me. But I do care that somebody at least is trying to hold Unirock accountable, because he's done this so many times to so many people, and it needs to stop. It's just unbelievable the flying monkeys that guy has.
Hey, Ellie. I don't even know. I only became aware of him in the last, a very short period of time, a couple of months maybe. And he was not anybody that I ever listened to at any kind of length. If I was cruising through the queue and nobody else I really cared about listening to was live, I'd pop in there. But that's really all I know of him. So what community were you guys in at the time?
I started a community called the Great Debate Community, and it's a blog that I have. I do philosophy. So I do a philosophy blog called 3M Philosophy, and that's on the Great Debate Community page. And so that was a community of people that wanted to get together and have discussions about ontology, theology, philosophy, science, any kind of subject we would have discussions on.
So you're saying you weren't rolling around in Krama?
No, we had nothing to do with the crime community or the true community or the real TV or any of that stuff. We literally we argue against flat earthers. We argue against young earth creationists. We argue against that kind of stuff.
That's right. I did hear that he's a flat or he.
I don't know what I don't know what he is. He flip flops. Where it doesn't matter to him. He could be a flat earther one day and a non-flat earther the next day, as long as it suits his narrative, as long as he gets some donos out of it. He can go to the flat earth community and pretend to be a flat earther, and they'll ingratiate him. It doesn't matter to him. He has no core values.
Such a thing existed, because I cannot believe there are people who believe that.
I think most of them oppose. I really do. I think most of them are disingenuous, because it's hard for me to imagine that people are this dishonest when they try to argue the shape of the earth. There might be a few true believers, but most of them, I think they do it just to mess with people. But that's just supposition. So
I'm just looking at the chat. Okay, so hi, Amy M, PP Giggles, Jasmina D, how are you? Welcome, Justin Bishop, hello. Okay, so is this You've got the suit. You've seen. I know
I
some
do.
other people have put it
Yeah,
up. I haven't seen it.
I was literally the first person to read it because Erin got it from JLR. She sent it to me first before she even read it.
Who is that? EKC?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Erin felt that I had deserved being the first eyes on this because of what I went through with Union Rock. So she sent it to me before she even read it. And I went through it just before I was going to work. I can't say it's an exceptionally strong case, but it doesn't really need to be. It's not the point. I think if it's vexatious or not really doesn't matter to me. I think it's like you said. I think it's just to get attention and eyes on this because if this is even something that can go in front of a judge for adjudication, it's going to get views. It's going to get some. I mean, Rock a Lot has a lot of enemies, and people will watch that. So I think that Jonathan Lee Richards or Jonathan Lee Richards, yeah, Richards. Yeah, I mean
Richards. It's Richards, but I call him Richards just because
I've seen that before.
Big. Hey Fairy Dust, how you doing? So is it in state court, county court?
It's in Ross County, Ohio. It's a state.
What kind of business
Oh,
is he?
God, I can't believe that bitch. Siri, she never works when I ask her to, but when I don't need her, boy, she's right there.
My Alexa does the same thing.
So is it defamation? Is that what he's?
Yes, it's defamation per se. Per se is defamation that doesn't need to be proven. It's basically stuff that if you say something so egregious that on face value it can have defamatory ramifications, and you can get you can at least get damages on that. You can get punitive damages. You can get general damages for emotional suffering. It's exactly pretty much what I was suing Katie Joy for, but unfortunately I ran out of funds for that. I couldn't support that lawsuit. But this is a very similar type of defamation suit that they're basically saying that, hey, you've had torturous interference, which means he's somehow affected contractual relationships between Jonathan and somebody else. And he's suing for emotional distress. Yeah, I don't remember who the contract interference was for the torturous. It's in here.
Well, I mean, I'll take your word for it when you say there's a lot of people that cannot stand him, but there's also a lot of people that can't stand JLR. I
know he's done some shady stuff. Yeah, and like I said, I have no interest in that whatsoever. Because again, I'll call it on the table. I'm biased because I want Union Rock to suffer. I want him to suffer greatly. He's done some massively dishonest and harmful things to a lot of families. He went after a grieving mother on the Marvin McRae story. If you remember that. That was him and nonsense.
I thought he was team. What's her name? The real pretty
Dre. Yeah, I think so too. But by doing so, he went after Letitia, which was Marvon's mom. And all.
See, I don't know anything about any of that situation, and I don't even want to.
It was pretty bad. And that's what I'm saying. No matter what JLR has done in the past, some people say he's reformed. I really don't know. I never heard of him until a month ago, so I have absolutely no information on the dude. But I didn't even know who Molly Golightly was until like 4 or 5 months ago. I don't follow any of these people.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's just not my interest. My background was in nuclear reactors. I was in the Navy. I was a nuclear reactor operator. Well, technically mechanic, but my background was in that kind of stuff. And then I'm in retail now, but I just have no interest in reality TV. I have no interest in what's happening in the internet spheres. No offense, but the fact that I had a show that I enjoyed doing, and this guy Union Rock, went after that legally to help my partner. I got a personal vested interest in it because my partner didn't have a lawyer when I sued him, and he was just kind of letting the courts drag out because he had a default judgment, and then Union Rock got involved, and he fundraiser to get him a lawyer, spent about $6,000 on a lawyer who eventually withdrew from the case because she was citing irreconcilable differences. Basically, she had an obligation to her client and to the court, and the client was lying to the court, and it was found out the client was lying to the court, so she had to withdraw from that. So he basically helped my partner try to get away with the $150,000 well, it was about $60,000 that it was involved. It's $125,000 now that he owes me.
And this was over internet shit?
Yes, we have our internet channel was making about $6,000 a month. And so he decided to kick me and the producer off the show. And I had a very rich friend who was worth several millions of dollars that decided to pay for a lawsuit that was lasted about 2.5 years. And you could find that on Forbes.com under non sequitur show, the history of that.
Non sequitur show. I'm gonna write that down. I would like to look at it because I'm like, this is all new to me. Even when I was here before, the one time I don't have any paper. Oh, that's all right. I'll just go back and listen to it. Hey, Ellie, how are you?
Oh, hey, I had a couple.
Yeah, hi, Ellie. Yeah,
questions.
long time no see.
I know.
Oh, you guys know each other?
Just literally the last like 2 days or so.
2 days from like Queen's Battle.
We go way back. Yeah.
We go way back like 2 days. Yeah. As far as like Molly and like the fundraiser in question, like what exactly did you need to do? Like, was he fraudulently? Like, what was like
with that particular fundraiser?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you know, Katie Joy Paulson was on a co-host on my show, right? And I had a falling out with my partner, which means I had a falling out with her. They were best friends. She got involved in this whole Marvon McRae story, and she was trying to help at one time Letitia, the mom, see Marvon McRae. I guess Letitia dissed her and no longer wanted anything to do with her after people were warning her, hey, this person is not a person you want to have as a friend. She will stab you in the back. She's an evil person. And so after Letitia told Katie she didn't have anything to do with her again, she started spinning this yarn that all the money that I guess Molly Golightly was trying to raise for Letitia to go see her son was fraudulent. And she involved Unirock, and she involved nonsense. And I don't know the order or the chronology. I don't remember any of that. Oh, we should go.
Hold on, sorry.
We're here. It's okay. Technical issue.
Okay, there we go.
We just may have been moved around.
She's playing with her StreamYard.
All of a sudden, it like everything shifted. Okay,
Yeah.
Carry on. I'm listening.
And so there was this big, kind of kerfluffle of them saying that Letitia got money under false pretense. But after it came out that Letitia showed all her receipts, she showed her legal fees. She spent all the money on lawyers. So, and I guess she did get to see her son. So I think that was the big thing. I don't know why they were so criticizing her for wanting to go see her child. That was like one of the weirdest things about why she was like,
yeah.
It made no sense, but it was an active campaign to try to smear her. There's no question about it. I mean, from what I understand, she had, psychological problems. She had to go see therapy. She had depression. I mean, it really put just a mental strain on her. And somebody's asking about why not since gets getting thrown in with uni. That's the weird thing. I don't know what kind of relationship they have. It's kind of like one of those frenemy things. I don't think they're like buddy or ever have been, but Nonsense was using his content for quite some time and basically still does. I mean, she's going back to like 2019 to talk about things that Union Rock had talked about in 4 years
Katie
ago.
Joy, you're talking about?
Yeah, Katie Joy. And for some reason, Nonsense is mentioning my name a few times. And Nonsense is running this narrative that I and Aaron had to do with this person named Nat, who came on the scene during the Toddy Westbrook.
Yeah. Give us some background on that.
Okay, so
and
that's
in full
Nat.
disclosure, like I'm a fan of Nonsense.
Well, I'm not, and I'll explain to you why here in a minute.
And I don't.
Okay, so no bad.
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because I know nothing about any of this stuff.
Unfortunately, I
general.
do. Yeah, I'll keep it general. So, okay, that's fair. During the Toddy Westbrook suit, Toddy Westbrook had sued Katie Joy Paulson. This was right after Katie Joy Paulson tried to help my partner steal $60,000. And what I mean by that is she tried to falsely accuse me of sexual harassment, fraud, medical fraud, and all these other things. But fortunately, it came out that it was actually my partner that was committing fraud. He was found liable for breach of fiduciary duty, found liable for breach of contract, found liable for unfair and deceptive trade practices, and I won my judgment for $115,000. But Katie during that time was trying to, keep me and the producer off the show and do shows with my partner on the channel. So she had an incentive to basically make stuff up about me, which we all know Katie Joy does. For some reason, though,
I don't know. I don't listen to her.
I don't know anything about her too. Only just through this and through what I've heard from, here and there. Yeah. So
if you go to the Great Debate community and you look up Katie Joy Paulson, how she Me Too Me, I have 4 full entries of how Katie Joy did this.
Okay.
So, but,
Nice.
but back to nonsense though. So during that lawsuit, that was right after the non sequitur showcase between Toddy Westbrook and Katie Joy. There was this person who said that they had witnessed Katie Joy disparage Halo Beauty, which was Toddy Westbrook's product. And that person happened to live in the UK, and her name, she goes by Nat. I spell her name with a G, like buzzing around because she's like a little insect.
Oh my God. Hold on. Is this the person that I saw a video about from Menace to Sobriety?
I don't watch Menace. I haven't watched Menace in like 4 years, so I couldn't tell you. But he has talked about Nat. I'm sure about that.
Yeah. You know what? I don't that.
She's a psychopath.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So yeah,
I don't want any part of it.
So just bring Uni into it. Where does Uni come into it?
So Uni was kind of like same thing with nonsense. They keep bringing her up, and the only person I really had any contact with Nat was Katie Joy. Katie Joy and her had communications that we have, actual emails, and these have been verified by the legal system, that she was trying to get her to say that I was sending Nat death threats. And she had told people on a panel.
Wait, are we talking about the girl I just said I don't want to talk about?
Yeah, because it involves.
I don't want any part of that insanity.
Well, I can just tell you this: I have never had a single communication with the woman. I've never talked to her. I have nothing to do with her. But nonsense and other people keep bringing my name around to her, and I want to know why. Aaron has talked to her before. Aaron has been on a panel with her, and Katie Joy has been on a panel with her. I have never said anything to her. I've never sent a response. I've gotten like 60 emails from her that I've never once sent a single response to. I've never talked to the woman. No. From the person you want to talk about.
The one we're not talking about.
Yeah, and so I was just going to be I just got up to do a stream myself actually, and one of the things I was going to talk about is nonsense is accusing this person of associating with me and Aaron, and I'm like, how is she in my camp? I've never talked to her. I've never had word one with her.
The person I don't want to talk about that we keep talking about.
Yeah, let's bring it back to Uni. I have a question.
Yeah,
about that.
I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not about.
I understand totally.
I don't want to manifest anything.
Yeah, I got you.
So Uni was like trying to fraud bust the Letitia's fun. Okay, so how was he, like, give us an example, like give us some, like, what things you saw that were bad behavior trying to do that,
like saying that she didn't give a lawyer, that she never had any receipts. I mean, I first of all, I don't watch any stuff. This is all secondhand, so take it for what it's worth. Yeah, I haven't watched a video from him in ages, but they were basically saying that Letitia was raising money under false pretense, and then there was two people, and he calls them the Dono girls. I don't remember the names, nor do I care.
I've heard that Donor Girls. I've heard that name come up. Yeah,
but there's 2 of them, I think, maybe 3. But what one of them did was one of them sent, I think, $500 on a Cash App to Letitia, and Katie Joy was trying to convince her audience that all the money being sent to Letitia was fraudulent, and Unirock was jumping on that particular narrative. And so I think it was the same day that person asked for that $500 back. And what they did was, some people, and I don't know who this was, and I'm not saying it had anything to do with Uni, but somebody did this. They set up a fake Cash App that was very similar to Letitia's, and they were trying to get money from that one. And then they told Letitia, we sent you money, we want it back. But Letitia couldn't verify, because I guess she didn't know much about technology or how any of this worked. She really couldn't verify who sent her what. So she was giving money to basically anybody who asked her as a request from Cash App, because I don't use Cash App. I've had some bad experience years ago. But from what I understand, with Cash App, you request money from somebody if you want to.
Yeah,
So she was getting requests for money that people that didn't even donate to her GoFundMe, and Uni was not one of those people that was one of those people that did either. So there was a lot of strange things going about. But I think he and Katie Joy teamed up literally just to cause harm to Letitia. That's my personal belief.
And was it speculated around the community that maybe Uni was behind that, either fake Cash App or trying to be fraudulent instead of fraud busting, or no? You don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Uni goes around. He has a spreadsheet of all these fraud raisers he thinks he busted, which absolutely it's ridiculous. There was one fraudulent fundraiser in the community. There was one. And it was from somebody named Moon, and she had said that she had cancer. I donated to it. People that I know donated to it. Friends of mine donated. It came out that she didn't have cancer. I got a refund. I have the email from I think it was like $25. I have the email back from the refund, right? So, I mean, I was scammed by it. That was the only one that was actually a fraud. Every other fundraiser that he talks about, from Ida Legal one, my friend Red's had one. We raised money for somebody to get a bed, an actual bed. That was not a fraud raiser. That was somebody who needed a bed. I did one to help Leslie Bass when she couldn't stream. I donated all my super chats to her for just before Christmas. It was like $500 that I raised for her. That was not fraudulent.
People are.
Yeah. So he's Leslie Bass, LEB.
I've heard about that name too.
I've never even heard the name.
Right. Well, she's kind of well known.
I went in a rabbit hole this week, as you can tell.
Yeah. But yeah. So that was the only fraud. That was the only fraudulent fundraiser that had anything to do with anything. Every dime that I got from my GoFundMe for my legal case, I spent over more than that. I spent $10,000. I only raised about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
The rest came out of my own money. I have all the receipts. I mean, you could look.
I feel like a similar thing was done with going back to Molly. It sounds like what Uni did was he was trying to take Nonsense's receipts and prove that there was a fraudulent something fraudulent going on with Dre where there wasn't. That's what I
think so as well. Yeah. Somebody mentioned Sean Hufford. Sean Hufford wasn't a fraudulent GoFundMe. Sean Hufford was an idiot that decided to lie to people in order to try to cover up some things that actually did happen. It's a very, very long story, but I wouldn't call Sean's fundraiser GoFundMe fraudulent. I just think that he wasn't forthright with some of the information that he should have been to the people. That's why he no longer is around. I haven't talked to Sean for like 3 or 4 years because of that. So we do police our own. When people mess up and people don't apologize and they don't recognize the fact they screwed up, all I do is distance myself from them. It's the only thing I can do. That's what I did with Uni. I distanced myself from him, and he had a revenge campaign on me for several years because he felt slighted by me. He felt like, because I guess he really was a fan of mine for quite some time. And so he was like really thrilled that I reached out to him and I was talking to him and giving him in-depth information about the legal things going on with my lawsuit. But once I found out he was going to lie to his audience about some stuff, I couldn't be around that. And I told him, dude, you're going to go lie to your audience. You don't care. And I swear to God is my witness. He's like, well, it doesn't matter. He's like, as long as they listen, as long as you make a video calling me out, I'll call you, I'll make a response video. You make a video about me. And I told him, dude, that's not how I operate. Go watch I have 3,000 videos. I don't play that game. You never see me making response videos to somebody and then back to me and back and forth. Not a single time. I do reviews and I make response videos, but they don't last more than like one cycle or two. I don't have this continual back and forth that he wanted because that's how he feeds his channel
Oh my
to get content, to get vape juice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. That's what we saw here 100%, but it went the wrong way because he kind of got uncovered. He tried to like spin this handwritten letter and that was a stupid C&D, like.
Right. Well, he overplayed his hand. And see, this is what Unirock does. He does what's called LARPing. Have you heard that term?
Mm-hmm. Live action role playing.
Yeah, he uses that a lot.
Yeah,
he's a LARPer.
He's a LARPer. He's absolutely a LARPer. I had been told that early on. I didn't really know what it meant. So that was my bad. I had to learn the hard way. But I did learn that he was absolutely a LARPer. And I don't mean like the people that go out there with the fuzzies, the foam swords. No, this guy makes up a complete fabricated reality. And then he plays that part. And I think Unirock is a character to some degree.
In his own mind.
Yeah. I think he's become the character, but that was a part that he was playing like an Alex Jones. He has ties to Alex Jones.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's friends with the producer from Alex Jones. He was part of the whole QAnon thing way back when.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Pizzagate and stuff. Yeah.
And Pizzagate. And I guess he didn't really do any of his own research, just like he doesn't do now. He basically everything I heard that he got from Pizzagate and all that stuff, he got from other people and just ran with it.
See, that was his problem.
And then took credit. Yeah.
Here with JLR because he didn't know about JLR. He tried to say, "Oh, it's a handwritten thing," and people like, "Why would he?" Like, it was just too many holes. Like, first of all, like JLR we thought could get in trouble for sending a threatening letter because he's on probation. I mean, there's even like with this whole lawsuit, the fact that he had to get permission from his probation.
Well, I don't know if he got permission or I heard from heard it from a friend who heard it from
a friend. Yeah. You're right. That's the thing too. That
he doesn't have to. He only did when he was when he was in prison. He get special permission for that. I don't know. Again,
we read through his I
don't know the validity or not.
The instructions of it, and like because it's like a federal judge. But he can do it as long as there's validity. The thing with JLR, he like sued like the planet Pluto, Mother Teresa.
He's vectitious litigation.
Yeah, so it has to be rooted, so I bet
grounded in factual. It has to be legitimate. It has to have what's called merit. It has to have
merit. Exactly.
Merit,
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Ellen,
I heard that as well.
Did I hear correctly and I didn't hear all of Real Lady Justice, but I thought I heard her say something along the lines of, because of that, having to, if a lawyer took the case, that basically would signify that it did have merit, because
I don't see how a lawyer will take anything if it. Yeah, I don't see how that signifies as merit.
Well, JLR is like, but he's doing it himself. He's his own lawyer. In
pro
this,
se,
so.
pro
se. Yeah, exactly.
There is no lawyer attached to this.
Well, okay. So here's the funniest thing. He's pro se. If Unirock, it's since this is filed, Unirock has to do what's called a response. Okay.
Yeah.
Unirock says he has a lawyer. I don't believe anything Unirock says. I mean, if the man tells me the sky's blue, I'm going to go outside and check. Okay.
Right.
He's just an absolute liar. Mm-hmm. But if he has a lawyer, then if he files pro se, there's a problem here, because obviously his lawyer would be handling all this paperwork for him. But if he doesn't have a lawyer, then he's going to have to try to convince the community to give him money for a lawyer, because he wouldn't have the competency to do this pro se. He's incompetent. But it's funny. He already fundraised for Kyle, which was my former partner, to get $6,000 for his lawyer, and that lawyer quit because of dishonesty. So for him to try to get money now after what he did to Queen Bee, he shot himself in the foot, proverbially, like both feet. One, because of the timing on it. Because if he would have done this maybe 3 months ago, us Flying Monkeys would have given him some money. But now that he's pissed off Queen Bee because he lied about the C&D, and he absolutely lied. This is not even subjective. I mean, this is objective fact. The dude was lying about that.
He severely miscalculated what he
was.
So the Flying Monkeys are gone, you're saying? There's no more Flying Monkeys. So he has no more money coming.
There's Flying Monkeys.
There's Flying Monkeys, but they're from like other camps that just want. Right. But they're going to really give him money, though. You think these Flying Monkeys?
I doubt it. I doubt
it.
I don't think so, because even though they hate me, no matter how much they hate me, they're not going to they're not going to give Unirock money to scam people. I mean, it's just not. They're done with him. They're going to find some other person to go flock and fly around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
but he has a lot of old Flying Monkeys. Well, I'm sorry, what?
Has he still not been on YouTube?
I don't think so. I think it's only been on Twitter Spaces from.
Did you see he did do a community post today? Do you want me to read it to you?
Oh yeah, because I'm either on my TV or I'm on my iPad, and iPad does not show me. I have to be on my phone to see community posts unless I go check, and I always forget. Yeah. So if you would.
And and I'm not going to read it, but I just saw your question. Yes, Elliot, as far as I know, that if you see those two individuals.
Oh, names, okay. Thank you. Okay. My response to JLR lawsuit, I'll be countersuing. That's what I thought he was going to say. Everything else is coming from my lawyer, Uni. Thanks. P.S. To my audience, miss you guys. See you today.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, when he files for the response, his lawyer's name's going to be on there. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't have a lawyer, then I guess he's more lies from.
He has to get one. I mean, he doesn't have an in-house lawyer. This whole time he's talking about his in-house lawyer. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You're not a corporation.
But I'm sorry.
Or does he have one? I don't
know. No. An in-house lawyer would be basically, like I said, if you're a business and they usually have a team of lawyers that they just kind of pay monthly for a fee,
and then when they need business. Yeah,
exactly.
Or you're very rich.
Or you're very rich and you have one you call.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Nobody has just like an in-house lawyer.
Let me tell you. I
mean, you have one on retainer maybe, but you don't have an. It just seems so crazy to me that he said that.
Look, my lawyers were charging like $75 an email, $400 for an hour. I mean,
and lawyers charging quarter-hour increments, and if they lick a stamp, it's 37 seconds. I spent licking your stamp. I mean,
you think it's funny, but she's not even joking. They itemize.
I know.
They itemize. I have the billings. They're expensive. I mean, but yeah. So he's going to have to figure that out because he has to file a response unless he just blows it off and gets what's called a summary. A default judgment. A default judgment. See, this is the funniest thing though. This is like a recycling of what happened years ago. My business partner did not have a lawyer, but lied to the community and said that he did. He lied and said he had a CPA, which had the money. He said there's a bank account with the money in it. He lied on all of that. And so he did not have a lawyer. This is why during the part of the trial or the case that was just after the default judgment, he was trying to set the default judgment aside by saying that he was improperly served. And so they ran this narrative. Sorry, my Lexus was going off. So they were running this narrative that he was improperly served to try to get the default judgment set aside just to prolong the case. And so Uni, again, ran a fundraiser to get an actual lawyer that he said he had that he didn't have.
Yeah.
Which everyone was kind of wait a minute, you said you have a lawyer. What do you need a fundraiser for? He still was managed to raise $6,000.
I just want to clear one thing up. True Crime Dime says he said, quote, familial lawyer, not in-house lawyer.
Yeah, familiar is family.
He used both. He used both.
Did? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To make sure I
trust me. We couldn't.
There's
yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see when he does a response. If he does a response, he usually has like 30 days to do a response of something of that nature.
Yeah. That's what Lady Justice was saying last night.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Boston.
Hi,
Boston.
Hey. Steve, I heard you saying something about receipts for the fundraiser
for the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
Aaron has them.
EKC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all the money that was raised, she has the receipts for all that money going to the
Letitia.
lawyer.
Yeah, from what I understand, Letitia sent her and Veda like all the receipts for her. Yeah. I wasn't involved in any of that, so I really didn't ask for anything. I was completely on the wayside, just following along with anybody else. But I really didn't have vested interest. Matter of fact, if you go to my channel, I only a few times even mentioned Letitia. I don't have anything to do with Molly Golightly. I've never talked to the woman. People are like, oh, Steve's on Molly Golightly's payroll. I'm like, I've never talked to the woman. I've talked to Justin a few times, but I've never talked to Molly Golightly.
Do you talk to Veda a lot?
Yeah, I talked to Veda. Yeah.
Because I haven't seen any receipts whatsoever.
Like I said, ask them for it.
No, I know, but you said earlier that there were receipts. Did not coming at you, but you said there were receipts. So
from what I understand, Letitia sent Veda and Aaron the
refunds?
not the refunds, the actual itemized thing from her lawyer.
Oh yeah, the spreadsheet or something.
It's not a spreadsheet. It's
okay. Is that something else?
It's a statement that prints out. The statement has all the itemized stuff and the cost for it. I mean, I have examples because I have obviously my cases.
Because there was a lot of money raised, and the only thing that I think I might have saw is a $2,500 retainer.
Can somebody just give me a really quick
Lisa's lost.
101 on the whole what we're talking about here?
Yeah, there was a lot of money raised for a lawyer.
For Letitia to go see her son because there was
with the Dre McRae.
With the Dre McRae.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what Molly was supposedly raising money for.
Right.
Correct. Mm-hmm. That's where Molly comes in.
People now want an accounting of where the money went.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
But I've heard that Nonsense had these same receipts, right? Are these the same receipts? And that she couldn't prove anything from them, but Uni tried to.
Yeah, honestly, I have absolutely no idea one way or another.
Well, that's just what I'm just saying. That's where I come from. I'm just saying that to you all. You guys.
All I cared about was if I was a mother and I want to see my child, then I get it, right?
I get it.
That was my only, and the fact that Marvan's a vet and I'm a vet. That's really my extent was that this was happened to a vet, and so vets stick together, obviously, and so
she didn't raise that child, right?
Well, yeah, no, it's a biological mother, but you look, a mother's a mother. I mean, biological or not. So I think she had every right to see her child. I mean, that's just goes without saying to me. I mean, if people want to disagree with that, that's fine, but that's subjective.
Yeah, because it was Marvan's wishes, really kind of, I mean, if you
we can't ask his wishes though. That's the problem. We have no idea what his wishes are. He's still in a coma.
Right.
Before that, there was, he didn't really want to.
He's in a coma, Lisa.
But here's the worst part. I don't understand why it was all tragedy pimped anyways. This is a very sad story, and like I said, I didn't do anything on my channel about it because I don't like talking about those stories. I think it's kind of egregious when people make video after video profiting from this, and no matter if you agree with the fundraiser or Letitia or anything like that, Union Rock profited from this, and I mean greatly.
And Molly did also,
and probably did too. Probably.
Oh my God, so much.
I don't watch her.
I don't think anybody should ever come to this platform to try and grift money or raise money, call it whatever you want, I don't think this is what this is supposed to be for.
Oh, I see. I have no problem with people raising money. Like I said, I raise money for 6 kids from Leslie's Bath so they get presents for Christmas. We help raise money to get somebody a bed. I have no problem with raising money as long as it's under true pretense. If there's a false pretense, then absolutely, that's called grifting. And
they exploited the whole Jay McRae thing.
One person
I think they do. No, look,
another person's gospel truth.
I absolutely. I absolutely think they exploited it. I think Molly Golightly and Unirock both exploited it.
Oh,
I mean, even to some degree, even AKC a little bit. But I mean, I love AKC. She's my dearest friend. But I can't talk about that stuff on my channel. It's just something that I really have no interest in. But they were talking about it, and I understand why AKC and Beta talk about it. I do. I mean, there needs to be pushback. I'm not that person to talk about those things on my channel because I don't.
You don't want to go there.
I don't like any money off somebody's suffering. It's just not my style. I mean, if you want to watch videos on calculus, come to my channel. But this real TV stuff, I despise it. I don't watch any of the real TV stuff, and yet all these people were talking about Teen Mom and 16 and Pregnant and Live After Lockup, and I'm like, I've never watched a single episode. The only dealings I had with anybody was with a show called Chrisley Knows Best with Todd Chrisley, because Todd Chrisley was suing Katie Joy Paulson. So there's
I heard about that too.
So there was a vested thing with that.
I did one video on that because I can't stand that fucking Chrisley guy.
He got 12 years.
They're disgusting. Good. I hope he does every second of it. They're absolutely
right.
When you raise thousands of dollars on a platform, especially like this, you got to show receipts.
I agree. No, absolutely. No, I'm all for receipts. And this is what happened. Like Unirog wanted receipts, what he wasn't entitled to. And so for the longest time, I was like myself on my lawsuit. I'm like, look, if you don't end my lawsuit, you come to me, I will show you anything you want. And people have seen my bank accounts, they've seen my financial records, they've seen everything. And that's where they've stuck around. They're like, oh yeah, Steve was telling the truth. But I told Uni and his flock, you ain't entitled to anything. Who are you? You're nobodies to me. If you donated, I will absolutely show receipts because I think you should. Eventually, though, I put all the receipts on the GoFundMe. They're all there. But they kept trying to flag my GoFundMe as fraudulent. And so every single time I had to...
Who's they?
Unifam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I have all these emails from GoFundMe saying, oh, this it's been reported. And I'm like, well, here's the last case number. Here's the evidence. I'm like, okay. And everyone...
they gave you receipts that it was them?
Oh, I know it was them. Unirock said, Unirock was even saying this was a fraudulent GoFundMe, go report it.
He's just a scammer. He's a scammer that tries to bust fraud busters.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My GoFundMe is still up. If it was fraudulent, why is the GoFundMe
No, I'm not
still
saying
there?
yours is fraudulent. I'm saying
I know, but
that's what his MO.
Yeah. If it was fraudulent, GoFundMe would say this is fraudulent.
Of course,
But I've had 6, 7, 8 times where I've had to message them and show all the receipts. They're on there now. They're permanent on there now, so people can go see themselves. But
in regards to Molly and that whole situation with that GoFundMe for Letitia and whatnot, the easiest thing they could have done is show the receipts to shut everybody up. They didn't do that.
Well, why would they?
That's suspect.
But what? No, it's not, because Unirock again wants people to jump.
It wasn't just Uni. It was a lot of people.
I feel like
here's what I'm going to say. There's a comment in the chat, and I'm going to the very little bit I know about this. But this much, I share this sentiment. Marvin is going to forever need medical care. No one did anything to help him. Marvin is the only one in need.
I agree.
And there was one other one that I very much agree with.
The story should have been about Marvin. Yeah, absolutely.
And I believe every single person who had their fingers in that pie.
Mm-hmm.
All made money off of exploiting that situation that was none of their fucking business. And
I can't dispute that. Yeah, I can't dispute that. I agree. That's go look at my channel. I didn't see a single video about any of this.
And the grief that Molly put Dre through that entire 8 months.
And I don't even know of Dre. I mean, I know of her, but I mean very little. But
she went as far as say that I think that Dre, might stab her kids. I mean, she's exact words.
Well, yeah, but here's the original thing. Katie Joy is the one that said that she thought Dre had murdered Marvin. It was from Katie Joy.
What?
Katie Joyce started that.
Still came out of Molly's mouth. All this.
And then no, Molly didn't. This is something you can go look. Molly had a video where she was talking about this, but they spliced it together. They took out a couple words and they did a Frankenstein cut. Yeah, I've heard the original and I've heard the edited version.
Really?
And they're not the same thing. They're not the same. Yeah, one time that all it takes when somebody makes a fraudulent video and splices it together to make Molly say something that she didn't say. Now, I'm not saying who it was who did that. I don't know. I have my suspicions. But that's BS when you do that kind of stuff.
What I'm saying is,
the original video, she didn't say that
multiple times out of her own mouth that she thinks that,
and she's allowed to think that as long as it's her belief and not fact, right? I mean, you can believe whatever you want.
Well, you know what?
True.
Nick, what did she say?
She said stuff like, I don't think she cut Marvin down and like there. I mean, she said, it's ridiculous. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, no, look, Molly's done some shady stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I don't know her very well, but I'm not a fan of her. I don't watch her. And so
the original is on Justice for All, by the way. Nonsense said. The original is on. The original one is on Justice.
Yeah, I know the original was on Justice for All. I've listened to the original.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget. He's the sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've listened to the original. Like I said, I don't know a lot about the stories. What I know about is only what Unirock basically did in my life. That's it. That's all that's honestly what I only care about.
And the patterns that you could probably see in these and what's going on now and what went on with Dre and what.
Absolutely the same patterns.
Same exact thing.
And this is why, I mean, I don't know if you know how I reached out to like Queen Bee, but I was like, hey, this person is doing to you exactly what they did to me and other people. That was it.
In a different way.
That was the only reason I got involved again. I haven't talked about this stuff in years. I work full time. I'm happy in life. I don't even do much on the internet any longer because of the toxicity. I do a show once a week, basically, and maybe some other times, but very, very rarely. I don't get involved in the drama because I don't care. But I was going to be damned if I sat back and saw him lie about something and involve people just to do a LARP again, because this was a LARP. Absolutely a LARP.
I agree. Oh my God. I mean,
that's why I got involved.
Think of like people dressed up as stuffed animals when I hear that word.
But do you realize how many flying monkeys have come after me since I spoke up?
Really? Since in this time?
In what, a week?
A week? Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh,
wow. Did you get emails too?
No, actually, it's funny as they didn't. I think Heels in the Air did.
Rabbit, Queen.
Rabbit, and yeah. I didn't get a single one. But I will tell you, those emails sound a lot like the person we shouldn't be discussing.
Yeah. Sounds like that.
But almost too much so.
Interesting. So it's like somebody fake trying to be that person. So maybe it could be Unifam or Uni. I don't know.
It's not It's not Unifam. Yeah, Unifam. Okay. Look, I will tell you, Unifam will do dirty stuff. This isn't one of those times. This is something. This is a third party that has been around for a very long time during the Toddy Westbrook, before Uni was even kind of a thing.
We're not going to speak about, right?
Yeah, but they know they know some stuff. They know details. And that's why it's not. It may be ex Unifam. That might be true. I think that it probably was somebody who was kicked from the Discord, or at least left the Discord. That I do believe.
Okay, well.
And somebody says that they don't have. They come up to me and not having receipts. What I'm saying. What is it you want receipts for? Again, I don't have anything to do with the Letitia Bass stuff. It's not my thing. Go talk to Aaron and Veda about that. I have receipts for everything I've said about my case. Anything you want to know about me and Uni, I have receipts for everything. Like 100% down the line. I got court records from Katie. I mean, I don't know what else people want. I have it in her own words where she lied to the court. I have it in my own words where Kyle lied to the court. I have Unirock saying that Kyle wasn't served properly and that I shot at his house and that I killed my producer. These are from Uni and his family. These are not just from random people. This was storylines that were said about me, and I have receipts for all of that stuff. So yeah, I definitely have receipts, but I don't know about the Letitia stuff, so I can't help you there.
I think
nonsense.
I think
you made statements of, like Tim said, of a fact that what Molly said, but then you say you don't know about her. So that's kind of, I think, what some people
I don't know about her. I've only heard Molly Golightly about
like periphery from this whole story. I don't know Molly so well.
I've been in her live chat once, maybe twice. I mean, all I know about her is she was on Wipe Swap and she went over to somebody's lawn and started yelling them.
I don't know Molly and the Dre story. That's the confusing one. I'm sorry. Go. I'm sorry.
No, you were on Veda's one time, and I was in the chat, and you were saying that you don't know really much about this, and and then you literally said 5 minutes later, I speak to Veda all the time about this, so I know. And you contradicted yourself. I was in the chat.
Well, no, I don't know the hardcore details of the Molly Golightly situation, how she got involved in all this stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I know what Veda does. I talked to Veda. I watch her Veda stuff. But I mean, this goes back ages with Molly Golightly. People hated her. People had a lot of visceral for her.
We know.
Yeah. I'm saying I didn't get involved in any of that stuff. That had nothing to do with me.
Of course, yeah.
That's what I'm
why
talking
would
about.
you? Why would you? Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
We're different circles. So when I'm saying that I don't know about the history, I'm talking about that kind of stuff. I stay in my lane.
Yeah, but you know the behaviors, and you saw the same behaviors
patterns,
here.
right?
Yeah. He does the same exact thing. He lies and he like plans or over exaggerates things. Whatever he does to get people to look at him. Yeah,
just like the cease and desist. Did you notice the specificities that he had was to get people to go watch a 6-hour-long narrative that he never shows any receipts or does anything to show any evidence. He'll just say, I have it all. I'll do a banger video. You know, we're gonna show all the evidence. And he was supposed to do all these long, big production stuff of exposures for things that never happened. And then with the cease and desist, he said, one, it wasn't a cease and desist. He did lie about that. He said it was handwritten. He did lie about that. He said it was sent to his mom. His mom started loading up I don't want to say the word. Pew.
Yeah. Said it was very threatening.
It was very threatening. So this is all stuff that he would do in order to, again, bring traffic to him, where you can sit there and talk for 6 hours and absolutely nothing about any of it. That's it. And then he was like, and then he'll say like, oh, we've already talked about that. We're going to move on to something else. And people just go, no, we didn't. Everybody who's ever watched Union Rock knows he never gets to the point.
Chronicles of the Shady wants to know, did you help Veda with the list? Oh, I did a video about
the list.
What's the list?
Yeah,
and by the way, I don't have anything to do with her research. She comes to me and asks me questions, but what's the list? Refresh my memory.
You don't remember the list she put
out?
It
was a list. How many people were on the list?
He probably wasn't around during that.
13 and a half.
It's kind of reminiscent of Lettergate. How many people were on it?
Is it like a bunch of names?
Yeah.
Creators. Creators. I don't remember what it's for though. So refresh my memory.
Just like a hit list.
Okay.
Listen, you were on
that's a little much, man.
No, not like a hit. Not on a hit list. Like these guys are on my list.
When you were on Vedas.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember talking about that.
Remember, you were talking about the cancellation of Molly.
Yes. I remember. Okay, yeah, okay. But no, I didn't have her create that. No, not at all. No, I did not. Again, it's so funny because people don't realize that everybody's like their independent person. Veda does all her own stuff. Literally, I only talked to her maybe once, maybe a week or two now. I mean, it's not even that much, but she does all her own research. She asked me questions originally. She's like, "Hey, Steve, can you tell me about this, and this?" I'm like, "Sure," but she's her own content creator. We don't associate other than that.
It's the people they've been accusing of mass reporting.
Yeah. Research because her research is horrible.
Yeah, and here's the thing with mass reporting. I don't think it has a major effect on YouTube, but it used to. I know they've tried to change that, but I'm not.
Don't tell her that.
Yeah, no. There's a lot. There's some things I don't agree with Veda. I mean, that's a straight up. I mean, she's always been cool to me.
Yeah, like pooping on graves. I get it. Yeah.
Well.
Oh my God, she did that.
Like I said,
that's Veda.
Yeah, I'll Two Top Tammy. I love that, by the way. All I care about when it came to me, and I'm sorry this sounds like I'm rude, but all I care about was her research that she did when it came to Katie Joy, that it was accurate. That's all personally I care about. And I've told her that. Everything she's ever done about everything else is her own business. Go to her, and if she's got stuff wrong, go with God. And this is how we all operate. I mean, this is how I am, and this is how Aaron is. We've all got our little niche that we care about. If Aaron thinks that I messed up on something, she'll come to me and ask me about it, vice versa. But we don't ever tell each other what we can talk about or anything like that. It's just we're all independent, but people seem to lump us together because we have some common enemies. Mm-hmm. That's it. And by the way, with Aaron, Uni Rock is not even an enemy of Aaron. That's the funniest part. She doesn't really have any feelings
right?
for him whatsoever.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, people are saying like, oh, she hates. Yeah, she hates. She's
only?
like, oh, people are like, oh, she hates Uni. Oh, no, she doesn't give a damn about Uni. I hate
interesting.
Uni. Yeah,
okay.
Dude, I'm the boogeyman. I hate Uni and I hate Joy with a passion. They could both rot in the ninth level of hell, and I don't care. But I'm open about that. I'm very open about that. But but it's not Aaron. Yeah, it's not Aaron. Aaron doesn't care.
I don't see Aaron as such a. I don't know. I don't know her yet. But she's come forth with like good receipts throughout this. I mean, I'm not going to throw her out just because other people throw her out. You know what I mean?
Me personally, there is no world and no world situation where I am going to say one charitable thing about JLR. I do not give a shit about,
Agreed.
And that does not mean that I would sit by and let the man get blamed.
Agreed.
And face going back to prison for something he didn't do.
And that's because you have integrity.
Absolute piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. So I can't get down with her. I mean, it's pretty obvious, at least what I think she is doing. And, she's going to make hay when the sun shines like everybody else is.
Yeah, no, look, my view is this. If there are some crappy people out there and there's some misinformation about them, it just muddies the water. There have been things said about Unirock I know aren't true that I've corrected. There's some things said about Katie Joy that weren't true that I even said, look, this isn't the case. Because if you don't call out the stuff that isn't true, then you're not going to be able to focus on the stuff that is true.
I agree.
And what Can Pie just said is absolutely a fact. Two things can be true.
Yeah, absolutely.
NTL scammed and Uni is a...
And I wish I had more to tell you on that. Look, they all... Molly Golightly, JLR, I don't care about it.
I feel like that's Nonsense's story between Molly and Dre and,
just the only thing I ask is stop bringing my name into stuff that has nothing to do with me. I will tell you who I talk to. I will tell you who I associate with. When I have not ever talked to a person and people say, "Oh, this is one of Steve's minions," you're out of your mind. I mean, you're just absolutely out of your mind, and that's what I'm going to be making videos on because I want that out there. That when somebody falsely accused me of stuff, they're going to be called out on that.
Steve, I saw a video and I heard some rumors as well, and then I saw the video. Were you ever on EKCs, maybe watching adult videos?
No, So here's another Unirock LARP. I have a friend. Her name is Renelle Smith, great YouTuber, and I was on EKC's panel with her and Renelle with my roommates. This
shit is going so off the rails. Like,
well, yes,
bring it back, Lisa. Bring it back on the rails.
Yeah, I'm sitting here at a disadvantage. This has been a very good learning lesson. I can tell you.
Welcome to the YouTube, Lisa. Welcome to YouTube's. No, but like I said, that was a LARP by Unirock. My roommate was sitting right there. I mean, there's background noise.
Was watching.
No, she was watching. Kano. What's that vampire thing you were watching during Renelle's stream? What was that?
Lisa, do you want to shut this down, Lisa?
What was that? That show you were watching?
Seriously,
I think it was Vampire Diaries.
I don't think I ever had control. If I did, it has so far gone afield. No, and it's not Ellie.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, let's bring it back to
this. Like I said, boy, this has been a good learning lesson for Lisa. But I'm going to shut it down now because, it's one thing if I even had enough knowledge.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
but basically, I'm just sitting here going.
I get it.
We're not really. I think it. I mean, I think it has been good to show that.
Lisa, if I may, though, if anybody wants me to compare the Unirock, which some people have been doing, you're out of your mind. I will stand by everything I've said about me, but I have never done anything unethical. I've never made any kind of fake screenshots that Uni accused me of. I've never made any fake emails. I never done anything in real life. I never called CPS. I never called the police. I never done anything that Unirock has said.
And I never even heard of any of that stuff. So I'm not saying you ever have.
That's just me again.
But I gotta
sick of people using my name for stuff
back home, and this has gotten way far away from me, and that's my fault. It's not your fault. So
sorry, Lisa.
I'm glad that everybody was able to, have a civil discussion. Especially when you have no idea what we're even talking about.
That's the problem with the open panel, right?
Right.
Well, hey, and I tell you what, it really has. This is the first time I've ever done this on here, I think. Well, Nick and Ellie came on the other day, but it was, we were just talking.
Ellie, if I got to understand, you've been in a lot of panels lately.
This has definitely been a good, it's been a good lesson for me. And this is how you learn these things. So,
lesson.
and it has put me in a weird position because there's people I like and respect that you do not, and vice versa. And but this has been a very civil discourse, and
it has been.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on, Lisa.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll bug her out too. I'm going to do my own stream here, but yeah, thank you, Lisa. Like I said, these open panels, they can get contentious because you never know what's going to be asked, right? But if people want to come over, and ask me something in DM, just let me know. My Twitters are open, and I'm fine with showing them anything that they want to see when it comes to receipts. That's the only thing I ask. But don't just leave my name out of stuff. I have nothing to do with certain things, and that's what I see coming around, and that's why I wanted to jump on here and. Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, Lisa. Good luck.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Hey, Remy, are you leaving? You just got here. I'm kidding. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Hey, Nonsense, are you still in here? I feel it's only fair. I hope you're still in here. I'm putting a link. It's just for Nonsense, or for anybody else who happens to be here that was spoken about and you didn't come up, and that was interesting. Because yesterday was the first time I've ever even seen Steve's name. I heard him talked about in Queen Bee. So there you have it. It definitely was a learning opportunity.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you hear me? I got an AirPod in, so.
I can.
Okay, perfect. I didn't want to come up and be disrespectful because I have a lot of things with that gentleman.
That's why I thought I'm glad that, you are going to come up and say whatever you want, because he brought your name up. So it's only.
My only thing with him is I don't really know much about the gentleman, nor do I want to. I want nothing to do with these people. So how I even got introduced to these people was when I started covering the Marvon story. Katie had been covering it, Katie Joy, and Molly, Justin, and Katie all did lives together in the beginning. Like, they were all on the same side. They were all spreading misinformation. They were all doing horrible things, accusing her of terrible things.
Had they ever hooked up before, Molly and Katie?
Not to my knowledge. I was brand new to Katie, but because I came onto the scene using a voice changer and was anonymous, they took it and yeah, exactly. They have said that I was Katie for the longest time. Like, that was their theory, was that I was Katie Joy using a voice changer. And so the instant hatred that comes with Katie came.
And why is that? I mean,
she's as problematic as Molly, in my opinion. I will say that. Like, she has done some very, very horrible things in my research that I found. You can go back and see like a bunch of her problematic behaviors and stuff. She's very similar to Molly in the way she moves. So there was a lot. Sorry, I'm finding a spot that I can sit. That insane hatred, though, and their past history fell into Marvon's story, unfortunately. Like, there was no reason for it. There was nothing. Sorry, Dexter, my dog is like, it's time for treats, Mom. It was so sad because all of the creators that hopped on from YouTube walked into a story that was kind of closing out on Facebook. Like, there had already been questions of the refunds, where money was going, what was being sent where. There had already been so many problems before.
You looked very pretty today, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Hold on, I need to let my dog in, so go ahead. I'm listening. I'm just letting.
No, you're okay. So it just got to be super overwhelming because the Facebook issues had already started. Like there had already been questions. There had already been a lot of issues with attorneys and conversations that had happened. And so when I came to YouTube, I was from Facebook. Like we had been watching everything unfold. But because I wouldn't just blame all of it on Katie Joy, the anti-Katie community
and they're
really
called
came.
Caters, is that what they call them? Or are those the ones that like her?
They're called the Caters. Some people call them the Caters. Some people call them the Antis. There's actually two groups of them too. There's the extremes who I would say, like, in my opinion, Steve, EKC, Vada, that group hangs out with. And then there's the Antis who will call her out for her misdoings, but they don't inflate things. They don't fabricate things. These people all interjected themselves in a Tati Westbrook lawsuit. It's just been years of insanity. And
so wait, so just so I have this straight in my head. So EKC and Veda roll with Katie Joy?
No, they're against her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they're on the other side of her. So they're the extreme group. Like they have been going around with her for years, and you need to, like, that's just been their thing. But because I would not come out, sorry, my cat's in front of the camera. Because I wouldn't come out and blame it all on Katie and say that Katie was responsible for the refunds and stuff, because it wasn't. It's not the truth. There had already been people on Facebook requesting refunds back on July 10th. 4 days after the YouTubers got involved. So there had been a whole bunch of stuff that they had missed. Well, they've never let that go. And they've always tried to say that Letitia was framed and Letitia this and Letitia that. None of that's truthful. Like Letitia got herself in a bad situation with a bunch of creators who saw money signs on the wall and they exploited the crap out of.
Did they come to her, do you think? Or did she go to them?
They actually met on a Reddit thread. So one of the siblings of Marvon had been talking on a Reddit thread. The Facebook admins, the admins that had created the original Facebook group, Justice for Vaughn and Exposing Joy McRae, met on Reddit and then got in contact with the family further, created the Facebook groups on June 24th, excuse me. And it all just snowballed from there. There was many people in the pot. Oh, so much going on.
Oh, it's my God.
And I
don't think anybody has clean hands either.
And that's the crazy part is, like, the misinformation that's been spread. Honestly, like, the biggest thing for me when I came on here was Marvon's story was being completely turned into something it wasn't. He's been the forgotten one in all of this. Like, nobody has shown him dignity. Nobody has shown him anything. Like, this is his own family that continues to play games. And granted, they weren't really a part of it, but even, it's just sad. It's a freaking sad story. But
and is it, did his wife, did she want any of this attention and or money?
Okay, I'm honest, Abe, over here. So, Dre's a social media influencer.
If that's not, if I can put it in a much more generic way, like, was she down with all this, or was she like back going, oh my God, what the hell is happening here?
So at first she came out and told her supporters, like she came out and told them at first what was going on, but didn't provide details. And because she wouldn't provide details of what actually caused him to end up in the hospital, people started running with narratives. Exactly. So they felt that they were entitled to information on that. So she's a social media influencer. So she was just living her life in her normal facet. And they had been very open with their audience all along. They had done shows together. They had talked about their health issues, like all of it. So I think that her intention of how she was sharing what had happened quickly went south. And then she's just got a very different personality, a very larger than life personality. So she rubs people the wrong way. Some too. People either love her or they don't. Like, she's just very, but then once.
Oh, I can see where Molly would not like her.
Oh, competition majorly. Yeah, no. Yeah, majorly. Mm-hmm. But it's a really sad situation because there was a lot of people that we've got messages from Letitia, the biologic mother of Marvon, back in July, saying that she knew Molly was just dragging this out for clicks and views. She knew that that was happening, but they never came out and like shut it down, you know, and she had the opportunity many times to say, look, this doesn't need to go any further. And she never did. So, but again, there's many family members, there's been so many people, and that's one thing people are stuck on, like, is it fraud? Is it not? We're not legal investigative authorities that can make those determinations. We don't know where the money went. We don't know how much was collected. There's been no transparency whatsoever. And that's, you know, when people asked for refunds, she said she would give refunds. People had sent 500, 1,000, like there was big donations going through.
Letitia said she'd give refunds, or Molly?
Letitia did. Molly told her that.
And was Molly collecting on behalf of?
Yeah, they were getting super chats. It was going to all over. So Molly was getting some sent to her Cash App, and then she would say she was forwarding some on. Some of the super chats were going addressed to the family, and like it was just going everywhere. Money was going.
Yeah, everywhere. And that is ridiculous. I mean, that right there, you should never have all those hands in any pot, no matter what it is. You're just asking for problems.
Correct. Yeah. So it was a mess to begin with, and that's where, like, it was not the sole issue of Katie, Molly, or anybody. They all did misinformation. The one thing I have to say about Katie, though, is Katie did, after it started to come out how messed up it was, she took accountability for a few things that she did, and she moved on. She stopped covering the story.
I do remember when there was talk about the parting of the ways. Yeah. But I didn't watch any of them. Hell, I only started, as much as I could stand, watching Molly a matter of literally a few weeks before she was gone. So
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is you have a bunch of over-the-top personalities who this is just how they move. Like, this is unfortunately, and like Steve.
Oh, I would absolutely agree with that.
I have never had any interaction with Steve. Steve has messaged me numerous times in the past trying to get me in the inbox with him, because the Uni fam, when they came involved into this, they jumped in hot and heavy. And everywhere that they go, the group kind of splits. So Uni got picked to defend kind of Katie's side. One of them got picked to defend Molly's side. And then they just continued their bullshit for years. Like, they hate each other and just kind of follow each other around and get involved in the same stories. It's really weird. It
is weird. It's like, I cannot believe that adult people do this shit. Like,
I know.
Hey, how could, like, I just cannot imagine having enough give a shit about anybody else's life.
It's wild.
But I guess if you're making, you know, I also don't probably have any idea how much money is really made by some of these people, and that'll make people do, you know, interesting things.
I think for a lot of them, though, that's the sad part, is because I can say for a lot of them, I don't even think it's about the money. I think it's because they were personally burnt by, like, Steve and Uni at one time were friends. That's how, like, going back years ago, you can find stuff where they were buddies. They did a show together and then they fell out. And then, you know, it's just been this revolving thing for years. So with this situation, it just kind of, it really snowballed, and Marvon's the forgotten one. Marvon's story is the forgotten one. Marvon's story has been twisted and turned into something it never should have been. And then you have Uni over here, who has been spreading misinformation, making egregious claims, doing all sorts of stuff. Like, there's no win. Like, I feel like we're just in this circle of, like,
I mean, that's the one thing that I don't, and clearly I don't have any of the backstory about any of these people, but I can fog up a mirror, as Heels in the Air likes to say, and you don't have to know to look at it and see that he definitely, I think it ceased being about him like long ago. It was, and I just,
it's sad.
I just cannot believe that there are so many people who seemingly just insert. I just can't. God, it's like I just can't imagine coming to social media, and I try and understand why people who, you know, are in need of whatever it may be, and they come here because they truly need help with something, and then oh my God,
Yeah,
that genie does not go back in the bottle, and I bet there's a whole lot of people that wish it's just, I don't know, this, I just can't imagine being this enmeshed in all this shit every day. It's so exhausting.
it is. It's exhausting. It's like, and that's what they think. You know, we are to the point now where when you call somebody out for misdeeds or wrong behavior, the knee-jerk reaction is to send threatening emails to put somebody's children on the dark web.
Oh my God, I can't.
Or,
that is so sick. So
and
sick.
just to clarify what I said in your comments earlier too, because there is proof of this. I've read it extensively. One of the very gals, what I was talking about with Steve, I want nothing to do with Steve because he associates with the very gal that doxed me and then threatened my children the very first time, as she claims to be a mental health professional. That is like, she sent me an email bringing up my nieces. She's posted stuff about my nieces, like horrible stuff. And I don't mess with people who have no boundaries like that. So that's where I will not like engage with him. I won't be on a panel with him. I'm not, because I get it, dude. You don't like uni. Cool. That's not my fault. That's not my fight. I'm not Katie. I'm not associated with Katie. I have nothing to do with any of their behavior, period. I want nothing to do with any of these people. So I'm like trying to swim myself away from all these people. But for 10 months, it's just been insanity. All because they thought I was Katie originally.
Yeah. And I honestly, I just can't.
I hear you.
To me, this whole thing with uni, I mean, I've been very enlightened as to a lot of things about past things as of today, but I don't have to know all that to know that none of the shit he was saying was making sense. I mean, come on. The whole thing with, if I hear one more time that I tagged you in Discord, I mean, who does that? And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm not good at using Discord. Dude, are you serious right now? You live on it.
And that's adult choices. People are making the choices to, like, these are 40-year-old plus men who are making the choices to double down, triple down, and lie about the simplest things. I was saying this earlier today that, you know, for me, I move on and like don't associate. I don't engage with those people. I don't go back and forth with those people. I don't make content on everything they're saying because I wouldn't associate with these people in my real life. Let alone
end. It's a never-ending venture. Yes. Like, you're gonna spend your life doing it? No.
That's what they've been doing for 10 years. I am not about to get into that. And to me, this is so much more about the exploitation of these victims and their tragedies. And that's the very piece that's forgotten is there's actual victims. These people exploit victims and their tragedies, the children and their tragedies. Like, these are families going through their darkest times. And you've got a bunch of people who are unable to identify their own issues coming out here, just creating chaos because it's an easier distraction, in my opinion, than their own lives, which totally fine. But what about these victims? You know,
well, that's
just sad.
Yeah, that's
so sad.
You know, and I think everybody in that respect, you kind of pick your poison, so to speak, and try it because I mean, I know I don't have enough life left to live to dedicate to every one of these dirtbags that does all these gross, skanky things. So I kind of focus on the ones that I feel like I have a handle on. And 10 years, if you're in my life 10 years, you're gonna get a designated parking spot in the front of my garage. Like,
I know. It's just wild to me. I hate to run, but I have to run. I gotta go get.
No, that's okay.
So
I'm
glad
you came up, and I'm glad that. I mean,
sorry, this is all so
good. This is Queen B, girl. I got even more mad respect for your panel game after today, because I'm literally just sitting here like, and the whole time I'm like, oh my God, I gotta herd these cats back to like where we started, because this shit has gone off the rails. But that's my fault, not theirs.
But it goes like that so fast. And, you know, and I have to say, I have to give Steve this little piece. You needed the same thing that Steve did. Now, Steve is using this situation of you know, getting attention and called out for his bad behavior.
It's human nature. We all do it.
Exactly. It's a dog pile. And
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, exactly. And you did the same thing to Steve. Like when we all first came around, all I heard about was how horrible this man was and this and that. I did my own research to find out what was truth and fact there. And it's ridiculous. But these are grown ass men. Go take your battle like to the WWE match. Do something else. Like
eat each other's ass in a parking lot somewhere. God.
Leave Get it over with.
The women to the. Although I did, somebody read me about that. So, well, I'm glad you came up. This was a very learning experience.
I'm sorry. That's what I've been trying to
sorry.
Get rid of this.
I'm sorry, but this is how you learn. So
yeah, true. I learned the hard way.
Kind of like getting thrown in the pool when somebody's trying to teach you how to swim. Well, sink or swim, bitch.
Probably more like a shit pond. Let's be honest. More like a shitty
pool. Well, okay.
Bye,
all right, have a good one. Bye. Okay. Oh, I am. My God, I just looked up at the worst time. Hey, Nanya, how you doing? Oh. Well, I hope everybody got their say, and here's the thing. This, I think I said the other day, this is very much a team sport. Not so much in the respect that, you know, it's funny because for a place that is inhabited by so many not very bright people, in my opinion, there's plenty that are brilliant, but just a lot of them aren't typically rolling in this neighborhood. But it is really an interesting. What I find interesting about all this is it's really not a team sport, but it is a team sport. And there really is a delicate balance to not being like when Steve was up. And I found out fairly quickly that he's not a fan of nonsense. Well, then I'm sitting here going, well, but I am a fan. So I'm going to have to tell him that I am. But I also, if I'm the one who said it was open panel, so it really wouldn't have been right for me to say, oh, okay, well, you're talking about somebody I like, so bounce. You know, obviously there was a point where I felt like I needed to circle the wagons back around and I was going to say attempt to regain control, but I never had control. So let's just say I needed to take the reins. But I don't have any bad juju, bad history with Steve. And we are adults. I can't, you know, I don't want to say, well, you know, I like nonsense and she's not a fan of you. So, you know, no. But now clearly I'm also not going to sit and listen to anybody be disrespectful or talk shit about somebody I like. So that's what I mean when I say it is a team sport while at the same time being an individual sport. Hi. Hello.
What's up?
Hey,
Hey,
Did you see?
what are you doing?
Did you see my text?
No.
Oh, I texted you earlier this morning.
Oh, I have to go back.
Yeah, this boy, this. Oh well, it says you're here now, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I was just. My goodness, Lisa got a lesson in the open panel.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it was good. I saw about 20 minutes.
I do. However, where I went wrong was not appreciating the fact that there are so many people who do have deeply entangled
History.
histories, and
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't
Me
want
either.
that, but I think it was,
It was good.
yeah, I thought it was. I mean, I think it was good in the respect that I hope everybody got to say what they wanted to say. I wish I'd have understood more of it, but
Yeah, it's complicated for sure.
yeah, that's on me.
So is Gatorade almost over?
Is what almost over?
Retrograde.
Oh, gee. Girl, I don't have a clue. I hope so.
Yeah. I've had enough.
My text this morning was about, listen, I'm serious about doing this damn YouTube court. And
Oh, yeah.
I did go to Etsy. I didn't see any gavels that I liked that had crystals. So I'm like, well, I have a hot glue gun. I'll order my own damn gavel and I'll put my own crystals on.
Yeah, put Swarovski on there.
Yeah, I was thinking Saturday we can impanel a grand jury. Ellie says 4 days left.
Oh, God. I'm just going to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, God. Wasn't it retrograde and
Full moon
and something else all at the same time?
Yeah, I think so. So you're going to be the judge, right?
No, I don't think I should be the judge. Did you see what just happened here?
No.
I'm kidding. No, I don't think I should be the judge. No, I think I should be the prosecutor.
Oh, okay.
I thought we can, well, this is what we need to, this is what we need to figure out. I don't want to like make all the decisions. I think it should be, I could do a community post and we could do a poll like of maybe interested parties who would like to hold the gavel.
I would like to.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think you should change it up, like.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, each case. But do you think it should just be a judge and not like Judge Judy?
Well, so you mean like
yeah.
Pro se litigants? You don't think we should have attorneys representing?
No.
I think it would
only because.
Yeah, well,
realistically,
it's a lot of.
It's almost like the debate idea, but not. Like they're telling each side of it. Like, what are you thinking for the litigants? Like, what kind of issues?
I don't know. That's, obviously stuff that people are either always talking about or because, the tragedy pimps always give us.
Well, there's a lot of infighting. So, like, for instance, what would never happen would be JLR and Uni, telling their side.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we'll have to use.
No, that's not going to happen. But or Savage and Dolly.
Yeah, I don't think that one will happen either. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Oh, that would be ideal. I mean, once we go nationwide, then maybe we could have.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just stuff like
each side of like the Summer Wells case.
Anything,
like that.
Really. Anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want to yell at people.
Yeah, there's so much grimy shit that goes on here. It's like,
Right. True grime.
yes, I love that. I love that thumbnail.
I just want to see the gavel.
That turn of phrase, yes. Oh my god, and they're so cheap on Amazon. I haven't narrowed it down yet, but my goodness, some of them are like 20 some odd dollars. I have to make sure that includes the block as well, and not just
right.
the gavel.
And you need a robe. You're going to have a bedazzled robe. Oh, you know who would make a good judge is Betty. Don't you think? Just for entertainment? Yeah.
No. Speaking of her, she was in an airport doing a mukbang.
Yeah. What is the deal with that?
I don't know.
Do they think it makes them look edgy or like I'm so busy I have to eat?
Did you see her? I actually have her. I have it queued up. The BOCC meeting and Betty flies up in her room. Oh my God!
No, play it.
We'll play it. I'll play it and just listen to. She sounds out of breath to me. Number one. But you can hear her voice like she is full hot. Now, about what?
She's what?
She's full hot. She's super pissed. Well, here, let's just play the girl. Now you know I'm gonna have to stop and pause at multiple.
Right. I haven't watched her in days.
Oh well, here you go.
Been busy.
Here we go. Let me just pull this up. Wait, you got to see her flying up to the podium. That's
okay.
Okay. We're going to have to listen to the very tail end of the other lady, but you know how that goes. They only get 3 minutes. Thank God. Okay.
Okay, I'm mute.
All right. Here we go.
That are not getting out enough. And I appreciate the temp employees, but unfortunately, they are all busy cleaning out the isolation because we have a.
Wait a minute. This is right from Manatee County, so I don't have to keep pausing it, right?
No.
Okay, perfect. That just dawned on me. Do you think that the dogs this lady might be talking about are the ones, the puppy mill dogs that Betty wants, people to keep having the puppy mills? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Pandemic of kennel cough. We have 20 dogs with kennel cough, and the cleaners have to be gowned and masked and can't come back to the other side of the shelter. So we need some help in the shelter.
It's funny because.
And I would appreciate it if who's ever hiring these temporary people,
Betty
would take that into account.
Flying up from the back of the room.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I think Betty's moment is approaching.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Andrew Griffin.
Oh, Andrew Griffin, come on, girl.
First and last name.
Oh, she got the short.
Full screen. Look at what she is wearing, for God's sake.
I know.
I mean, don't all activists, dress like this when they go to I love the way too when she'll say, I have a meeting, my meeting. Bitch, it's not your meeting. It's some very thirsty, power hungry. That. Okay.
Name, county.
Does she have her spikes on?
Betty's got the coochie cutters. That's what my husband named those kind of shorts back in the day. Yeah, God, they look so painful. Like, Betty, girl, that cannot be comfortable. Oh, look, it appears that Betty is no longer strawberry shortcake highlighter. Yeah. But we're going to look at a picture after this. We're going to look at her live streaming from the airport.
Okay.
Where she definitely does not have her Klieg light and filters.
Andrea Griffin, Manatee County activist. There's a few things that I do want to go over here, and then I'm going to have to address this first for time issues. In 2022, Sherry Sieberman of Empath Law conducted an investigation into the transit, and she conducted no recorded interviews, but instead provided her own typed statement without any accuracy to the conversation.
Watch her. Tell me if you've ever seen her do this before. I have not. Through this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, she does it all the time.
That's got to be nerves.
Conversation, and now today, this morning, 9 a.m., she's now conducting more interviews in transit, and she has never recorded those conversations. So I think it needs to be important that anytime we have an internal investigation, no matter what department it is, that those are recorded either by video or audio, because there is interviews going on right now in our transit that I don't know if you guys are aware of. Maybe you are.
When she keeps saying transit, is she talking about the transit department? What the hell is transit? Okay. Woo, Betty is pissed.
Maybe you're not. And, the issues with HR are really getting under my skin.
Whoa, getting under her skin.
We're up here. We've got our Sheriff Rick Wells.
You know what she reminds me of standing there doing that? Ferdinand the Bull, standing out in the field.
Yeah, she does it all the time, even when she's out, like, in front of Quentin's house.
Yes?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of her...
self-soothing.
Like, she's the law. You know how they go back and forth when they're... Who is it I'm trying to think of? I've watched so many people that I think she's trying to imitate.
Oh my goodness.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, Jesus. Well, she looks like him, so I can see why.
But her hair looks better today, I think. Don't you?
It definitely looks better than it typically does, but when you see her in the airport, she's back to
Betty.
Notice what her shirt says.
Yeah, I can't read it.
Selective hearing. Sorry. And then my guess is it says something like, I hate you and everyone else who might question me, so I'm not listening to you. Nothing says professional activist or advocates without a D, advocate, as Betty calls it, like a stupid, smart ass graphic t-shirts.
Right.
Dear to me. And I also live in the 2nd district. So this is a district that impacts me personally. And when you hear those gunfires at night in your bedroom, you want somebody out there helping you. When you hear about a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old, and 6-year-old down the road.
I did read in the comments somewhere that someone who said they live in this district had no idea what the hell she was talking about gun. When you hear, what did she call them?
Gunfires.
Gunfire. Yeah, that's very strange.
Not gunfire, gunfires.
Gunfires.
You want something there to help you. Now, I am a privacy person. I am a conservative, and I am a First Amendment person.
No.
I'm not even allowed to call into my Manatee County government. If I'm not here, I can't even conduct government, which each and every one of you guys sat up here and said, we want participation from our community.
She just said, I cannot conduct government.
Yeah, she talks in circles.
Bitch, you cannot conduct your Google Calendar. You damn sure are not. You can't figure out how to make an airplane reservation. By the way, Betty, Southwest, they have a very liberal and free rescheduling policy.
Is she bitching about, oh my God.
She's bitching about this transit thing.
No. I was talking about the airport. We'll go to that when you get to it.
Oh, that's just a past rant I heard her doing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
To stand up and speak and have the right to speak and be part of our government, yet I am hindered in doing so. But a criminal can shoot kids down a half a mile away from my house and nobody's there to help. So these systems, and I just told Rick, if you want to bolt one on my top of my roof, go right ahead.
Okay, I have no earthly idea. I think
Rick Wells,
county sheriff.
Yeah, he's the sheriff.
So this bitch thinks that she is on a first name basis with the sheriff. My guess.
Well, I mean, 42 on a record, so.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So whatever So here is the conundrum that is Betty. Miss, I'm a conservative. I'm a First Amendment person. She probably didn't even know what the First Amendment is. But I think whatever this thing is, she's talking about bolting on her house. Well, doesn't it stand to reason it would be some kind of, don't certain places have these things that can detect gunfire? I think I've actually heard that before.
Yeah, but what is that what she's talking about?
I don't know, because she never explains it. She thinks that the board members who, but you know, they got her number. They know, oh, here comes that maniacal or hungry little bitch for her 3 minutes of fame. But she thinks that they're like inside her head and privy to her conversation with Rick. This is her thought process. This is why I don't get how anybody thinks this woman is some kind of expert in anything, because she can't even string together coherent.
Yeah, I'm wondering can you remove the closed caption so I can see what the meeting's about? Because it'll say under that consideration for.
Let's see.
Consideration for future. Oh, it doesn't say. I'm wondering what the hell she's talking about.
But whatever it is, I mean, we saw her when she walked up to the podium, so it couldn't. I'm telling you, I think what it is that she is talking about is, God, I'm trying to think of where I heard
transit and gunfires and something on her house.
Yeah, but wouldn't it? But it doesn't matter. Whatever this thing is that she's telling him, you want to bolt one on my roof, bolt one on my roof. I'm sorry, but that flies directly in the face of right-wing conservative thought. You're not about the government in any form.
Right.
Anything to your roof, your car. This is why she just makes me crazy.
I do news, I do media.
No,
I go around this country. And the one thing that I am also about is privacy and what I'm allowed to do and where I'm allowed to do it. And you know where I conduct my business? On public easements, public property.
Yeah,
when I go out there and when I'm out here advocating for the stuff here in Manatee County, where am I? I'm on sidewalks, in the roads, with my
Okay. Is she talking about the law they made that she can't stand in front of in neighborhoods doing her bullhorn? You know, I don't know if it's a law or if it's an ordinance.
What I think she's doing is she's pissed off about whatever this transit conversation is that's gone on outside of Betty's earshot. And she's making like the contrast between the stupid government people and how Betty conducts her business that she doesn't have. I mean,
right, because she's throwing like I'm media. I mean, these people know her. They know she wasn't media a year ago.
My God, do you remember the time that she was so upset that she got to the parking lot the minute the meeting was about to end? And I said, yeah, bitch, that's because they have cameras in the garage and they saw you coming and they said,
it shuts the doors.
They said this. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, all the doors shut, locked down.
How does she convince people that, I mean, because honestly, this is the most convoluted thought process I've ever heard somebody willingly stand in front of a microphone and a camera and put forth. So how do people, I
don't know
how she convinces anybody she knows anything about anything. That's why Betty was in the back of the room. She was talking to Rick.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's a very unfortunate place that I froze that video.
I know, I was going to say. Good
Lord.
pause.
Ooh, that was.
bullhorn or without, doesn't matter. But that is my right. I am second district. This is not something that I think that you should be taking away or deciding on the merits of that. You should be listening to the community, which you guys used to do. The community, your bosses. And we need help. And I will be supporting Rick in this movement. And I hope you guys do too. Thank you.
No idea.
We hate you.
I love when she walks away. She's so indignant.
My God, I'm sorry. She is. Did you hear her voice?
Yeah, she always sounds nervous or really mad.
I would agree. It was, but I think at the beginning she was nervous, and I think towards the end she was pissed. I mean, you kind of see this thing come over her face. Like she has a real change of. It's almost like something dark comes over her.
Yeah, I think it is about the not letting her yell through her bullhorn, because she mentioned public easements, which she believes that's her right to,
Natalie Tallulah says, wearing that t-shirt when she's trying so hard to be taken seriously, she's such an idiot. I would agree with that. Absolutely, she is. Oh, I am. I always look up at the
Oh. There's everybody. I didn't see anyone in the chat I was in.
Oh, you were in the wrong channel.
Oh, okay.
I'm about done doing that.
Okay.
Yes, Boston Nick, you are right. She did. I think it was barely controlled rage towards the end, because she can't. I mean, I think she is so infuriated. Did you notice? You hear what she said when she walked up there? I'm going to have to address this first. I don't think she went there prepared and planning to talk about what she talked about. I think she was there to address the District 2 gunfires or whatever dumb phrasing.
Yeah, which has nothing to do with anything.
And that's why I think she was so mad, because I think she got wind of this no that Betty didn't think, the sun was shining on, and she's mad, and because you heard her own words, I'm going to have to address this first. Yeah, she's pissed. She is so pissed, and you see it. I think she's a little nervous in the beginning because she's having to go off the cuff, which she's not good at. And
I think she is, though. You don't?
Are you joking?
No, I think she is good off the cuff. If she can stand there for 8 solid hours, I don't mean she says anything brilliant off the cuff. I just think she's got an endless supply of words. I don't know. That doesn't mean off the cuff, I guess.
Yeah,
I just know she can talk circles like no one I've ever seen, except Uni.
When I hear off the cuff, I mean, I think of someone who could come up on the fly.
Yeah, quick-witted.
Cogent. And
yeah, I know what you mean.
The best off the cuff people, well, you don't know they're off the cuff. She gave.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah, I would agree. She can talk.
It amazes me.
Because it's her validation. I think it's her whole life. I think her life probably did a big 180 when she got introduced to, social media in general, but on TikTok, what do you get there? 3 minutes?
Yeah, I think, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You heard?
When she came here and found out she could have 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah,
Did you see JLR completely disowned her and the rest of them in his lawsuit?
Oh, in the lawsuit? Well, I saw where Burnt Toast on Monday highlighted the phrase, I guess it might have been from the cease and desist letter. Where
could have been, yeah.
He is completely independent. He has no affiliation with. That one's going to leave a mark.
Yeah.
So tell me about the lawsuit. What is what's happened since I heard the first few minutes of Lady Justice, and that's all I really know.
Oh my God, it's like 25 pages.
He
He's
filed
basically, it's for defamation.
County court.
It's civil. I think it's county.
So how much money is he asking for?
25,000.
Okay, then that would be circuit court, I would imagine, because civil's only usually 5-10 grand max. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's filed a defamation for 25 grand.
And
no
torturous. I can't say it. It's torturous.
Yeah, tortious interference with
it's like 2 words.
Yeah. Bullshit.
So anyway, he's just saying that Unirock has defamed him by saying he is a identity thief, like in the present tense.
Yeah. And we all did hear him say that on multiple.
Right.
He was convicted of that, right, JLR?
Well, he was. That's why I was saying it's not. That's not egregious. Like that's not.
Yeah. That's
malicious, because he was. He says it himself in interviews that that's what he did. So I wouldn't call that malicious. You left me. I bored you. And then what was the other lie? It's just, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, because I think if Uni can just find any kind of lawyer, he can get it dismissed. Did she just leave? Hey, is Pirate in here? Hey, Pecan. Queen Bee. Yeah, I see you now, Queen. Oh, she's gone.
No, I'm back.
There you are.
Keep talking. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. It's just a lot of it.
Did she just leave?
Well, it's weird talking to a seat.
I know.
But anyway, it's just a lot of, he said something about he didn't like women. It's all the same thing, basically, that was in the cease and desist. But he expounded on it and added links and, saying he wrote a threatening letter to his mom, just all of that.
So here's my main question. He is able to file this without being in
it has to have merit
of his,
without a judge approving it.
Right. Is that
okay? That's kind of iffy. He can't file in another person's name like he always did, when he was in prison. Mm-hmm. But it has to have merit. Well, JLR is a public figure. And again, the statement that Uni would make to justify bringing this kind of lawsuit, in my opinion, would have to be really egregious and malicious, which it's not. Or none of the things that I saw would rise to that level. So that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, JLR is just me. First of all, he doxed him. He doxed his girlfriend. It's all now public record. JLR can say, look, I'll sue you if you piss me off or whatever. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
No, it's not. And he's doing what everybody does on here. He is going to capital. I mean, in a way, when you sit and listen, I got no use for JLR, but I guess if I was JLR, what I would be thinking, I'm sitting back watching this shit show from the sidelines, and I'm, he's probably got some idea of the amount of money that's been made. And he's probably thinking, well, you know what? Shit, they're talking about me. So I'm going to play what I think is the ultimate power move. And I'm going to really I got the trump card. I think that's, yeah, no pun intended, but I think
I know.
I can see what the one thing that I didn't get to finish listening to was when Lady Justice was talking about, because you and I mean, same wavelength. How are you going to defame his reputation? Look at his reputation. It's
Yeah, he can't defame. He can't. Yeah,
so, but what
it's called.
did she say something in response to that? That there was some that she did see certain things that Uni could really have a problem with.
Well, what she was saying, and I thought about that because I thought, what? What she's saying is that could be an element of defamation, but she didn't really speak to. It's called libel proof, and that means your reputation is so bad that no one could make it worse. Okay, so yeah, that would be him. That would be JLR.
Process, yeah. I mean,
Plus the fact he's a public figure. I mean, there's so much that goes against it. It's just a huge. But what she was pointing out is, in any other suit, that would be defamation. This would be defamation.
Okay. And
but at the end of it, she said he has no standing. Blah blah blah. Like, get a lawyer, have him get it dismissed.
That I just thought about. So let's just say, let's take it all the way to the furthest point it can go, and we're having a trial now over this. No offers of settlement. Nothing's been dismissed. We're going balls to the wall, and we are going to court. If I'm sitting on that jury, and because it is defamation, you know damn good and well. I guess what I'm saying is, if I'm Uni's attorney, I'm doing every damn thing I can in this world to get in all his prior bad acts, his documented. Of course, they'll fight to keep it out, but I don't know how they could keep it out, because defamation, slander, libel. Well, exactly. How do you prove you have damaged the reputation of a man who's been in prison on and off for what, 13 years?
Yeah.
That's
and makes it. And he documents his own fuckery. You know, you've got Sandy Hook. You've got him with the laxatives.
Yes.
There's tons,
and
he does it to himself.
Even the laxative shit you could get over, but if I'm sitting on that jury, Sandy Hook, Gabby Giffords, hell to the no.
Yeah.
No. That's You're talking dead kids. There's never anything funny about that. Never.
No.
So
no. There's a million videos. Wiping his butt with, that one. But I think what got him was JLR did a video showing a pair of panties with skid marks, and they were obviously women's. And he said they belonged to someone that had just moved out, like an ex-girlfriend. Well, Uni turned it around and said those were JLR's panties, and he wears women's panties. I'm telling you, that got JLR. He wants to do his own bit, but that's not. And I knew it when he did it. I thought it was good. I thought, if you're going to get him, that would be the way. And I think that's what really got to him.
Yeah, I will not even pretend to have the insight into that particular psyche, but I would tend to agree that would. Plus, I think he listen. I mean, obviously, the man, and Miss Magnolia, or whoever the hell you are, whatever the hell you are. This bullshit about he has worked very hard to fix his to earn his professional reputation. He doesn't have a fucking professional reputation. Give me a break.
No.
It's absurd. It is
absurd.
I can call myself a friggin' unicorn. And I ride in on a rainbow when I go to the grocery store, but I don't. And it doesn't matter how much I profess. It's like, when have we gotten to this place in society where all you have to do to qualify as a member of a professional organization is put it on a t-shirt in 200-point font.
It's
Like,
the same with everything, though. I can be anybody. I can be a lamppost if I want to, and you have to call me a lamppost.
yeah, no, I don't.
You know, so I mean, but JLR, I'll tell you, he's dangerous. And he was in Idaho, I think. I don't remember where he was. He did a video, and it pops up JLR sitting in the living room of an elderly woman interviewing her under the guise that he's a reporter. You know, he had press and media written all over him. He had a press tag, press badge, and she's talking to him like she's talking to CNN in her house.
Well, if she's
You know,
a certain age, you know that we come from a time when media were like, you had
he
to
trusted him.
you had to be fluent in speaking and or writing the language to even have anybody. What did he say in his, what is that video clip you keep seeing where he's got his coffee and he's looking at the chat and he goes, what is this about a letter? I didn't send no letter. It's like, you're kidding me. People.
No, he said to his mom. He said, I didn't write a letter to anybody's mom.
But before that, he said in wrong grammar, he said something to the effect of, I didn't send no letter. There's your media
Yeah.
who can't use proper usage.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a basic one. I'm sorry. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah. Even his writing, if you read his community post and all that, he totally gives himself away in his little private emails he sends.
But those, I don't get it. The one thing that I heard, and this is what I think his spokesperson, whoever she may be, whatever she may be, they try and play on emotion, because when you say things like, he has worked very hard to his career and this and that and the other, and it's like, really?
But he has no ethics, journalistic ethics, number one.
Exactly. He continues to do shady shit.
And the man he worked for, or still in email says he works for, is in prison for writing a fake email. You know, so
I didn't know you could you could run a business from prison.
Do what?
I didn't know you could run a business from prison.
Oh no, you can't. And he's using his email, that guy's email address. Yeah, it's all fucked up. But I'd love to see it go to court. I'd love to see discovery. I'd love to see his phone contents.
And I heard, I think it was when I was still listening to Queen Bee from last night when I was getting ready this morning. I did hear someone brought up, damn it. What was it? It'll come back to me.
Stuff like he might still be married, but I'm not sure. And does he live with his mom? I don't know where he lives. I don't.
Oh, JLR. I mean,
yeah.
Most people, what you always hear is that his parents own a house in Florida and he lives in it.
Yeah. Well, they bought it while he was in, he bought it right before he went to prison, and they got in trouble for they didn't get in trouble for laundering, but they did a deal where they paid for the house through their bank and he would give them cash. And somehow they got to keep the house, even after he went to prison for
that's interesting.
The money. I see Mike Stevens is here.
I know. I don't know how that happened. We had a little talk in the beginning.
Oh, he's behaving himself.
And I'm sure, has been keeping a watchful eye over Mike. But I think he's
got his foot on his neck.
Fine. Damn it, why can't I remember? There was a really good point that someone brought up about JLR. Oh, hell, I don't know.
About his mom's house?
No, just.
Yeah, I don't know where. I don't know where he lives. I know that his ex-girlfriend said that it doesn't look like his mom's because they live there together. And she said it
Oh,
doesn't look like his mom's house. So who
yeah,
knows?
he, what makes him so sleazy and dangerous, and Magnolia, I don't give a shit who you are or what you do for him. Because the fact of the matter is he does things that are, while they may be not violating any law, they're just sleazy and gross. Like all his disgusting titles that he'll clickbait,
Right.
where he will put the implication out there for people who don't know otherwise that, he and Betty do that shit. I hate that. Like, especially in that Idaho case where they'll put up one of those kids' pictures and then
Right.
inflammatory language next to it. And you can tell he's the guy who lives in the semantics is his life. Like,
Right.
it's all about well, it's not illegal. I'm not doing anything. Kind of like
Yeah.
those guys who I was so hoping they were going to curb check him when he was out there, grifting and exploiting Sarah Dryers.
Oh, that was the other thing that's in the lawsuit is the search. That he did search, that Uni was lying. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't remember Uni just saying he never went there. He obviously went there to be arguing with the neighbor. He was obviously there. To say that he didn't search would be, Betty wrote the
What's a search?
post saying,
That's
huh?
there you go. What's a search? What constitutes a search?
Yeah.
I can walk to the end of my driveway and see if I see any money laying on the ground, and I can technically come back in and say, "Well, I searched on the way."
And I found.
box. Yeah. So,
Yeah, but the thing that's going to hurt him there is Betty writing that post. Remember, to the family saying, "I'm known all over the world, and you're not going to get help
delusional.
from us because my baby Jesus, JLR, you insulted him, and blah blah blah." So that's not going to help him.
And that's the kind of thing
Pretty awful.
that needs to be. People need to be reminded of that on the regular, because it's so vile and so foul. I mean, I don't know, what is it going to take for these bad actors to, God, I hate sharing the same like airspace. I hate sharing the state of Florida with that fool.
Yeah, now there's another creator that I watch off and on. I don't even can't think of his name right now, but now he says JLR took me down this rabbit hole with him on the Idaho 4, and now they're blaming some obscure couple because she has bushy eyebrows, and they think she was the Uber driver. So it could be her.
I don't follow that case, and it honestly, it sounds terrible, but the reason I just don't want to follow it and get involved in it is because I know all these dirt bags are balls deep in this thing, and it's just a bunch of shit like that, and it just infuriates me. It's like, I don't need it.
Just because these two people are criminals, and they are. One's like a drug dealer, the other one is a prostitute, which I don't believe should, whatever. Doesn't mean they're murderers.
No.
You're calling them murderers. So yeah, he insinuates it all the time.
That's kind of like when I said I thought Uni was very devious for picking a fall guy like JLR. I meant that because I think in his mind it was like, well, you know what? This can work in my advantage, and nobody likes him. So people aren't going to give a shit. Well, he overestimated his abilities. He underestimated the community at large and their ethics. And it's like JLR's doing that with, it sounds like, with these people who, just what you said, yeah, they may not be your upright citizens of the country, but those issues are that is not
far cry from killing 4 people.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah. And so what happens?
Nobody caring because they're, not country club members.
Well, but what happens is then he goes to Facebook and there's a group that'll get started about him. And then they'll go after their family, people they know, their friends. I'll guarantee you it's going on right now. And I don't even go to Facebook.
I don't either. I don't have Facebook. Never.
Yeah. That's the repercussions of just, an innocent post. We're just speculating, which somebody's going to sue him for that too.
I hope so. Hey,
you've got to watch Laura from, I think she went on at like 1:00 this morning. Her straightening out Lady Justice's opinion on the law.
Yeah, because I always listen to someone who's not a lawyer over someone who's a lawyer, and I can't stand Laura.
Comedy.
I can't
comedy gold.
And that's another reason I don't like her. She's a pompous bitch who thinks she knows everything.
Well, she's a clown.
I mean, you got to be. I mean, is she in league with Betty? Because
yes,
that's the kind of people, to me, that would, even if I heard a lawyer say something that I didn't think sounded quite right, I would most assuredly keep that to myself on a big old public platform, because only somebody who has one of a handful of maladies would
you'll be screaming. You'll scream at the.
That's why I don't listen to her. She just irritates the shit out of me. I do not see the draw. I cannot stand her voice.
Oh, there's no draw. There's no draw.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but she's got subs. I don't get it. She's one of the most miserable people I've ever heard on here. She doesn't seem to have a happy moment ever. All she does is bitch about everybody.
And then says she doesn't do that.
And apparently she knows more about the law than a licensed attorney.
Well, because she handled her own divorce.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, so.
What is that they say about, oh, no, I'm sorry. That only applies to lawyers, lawyers who represent themselves and whatnot.
As a fool for a lawyer.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I get having divorces can get very costly, but, just because you've been a pro se litigant, that doesn't.
That's like truth.
That's family law, by the way. What to do with
criminal
situation.
Yeah, that's like Truth and Transparency's little trial we watched.
Oh, God almighty, girl. That I could not believe she came back into the
that was so enjoyable, though. I loved it.
I can't believe you didn't know her from before.
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't follow the Shanann Watts.
Oh, okay. That's the only thing I knew her from.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch that. I don't even know how I got onto her. And quickly got off of her.
What was that channel called? They've since split, but it was what is it called? The girl that has got the injunction against her had the original.
Oh, I can't ever think. Lana. No, that's her.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat knows who it was.
That real pretty girl.
Yeah.
Vanessa, is that her name?
Vanessa, right.
Yeah. What was the channel she had? Somebody in chat.
I always want to say hidden, but it's not. It's
unspoken
or something.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe it was hidden.
Now, Hidden's another
Unmasked.
woman.
Unmasked.
Unmasked. Yeah.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is the opposite of Hidden.
Yeah. Well, there's that, but semantics. Well,
all right, honey.
I'm past my point of being seated. Did you hear
Okay,
that the plague is going through my house?
No.
Yeah.
What is it, COVID?
No. The Doc in the Box, Doctor on Demand, said it's, quote, a GI virus, but
Ew.
it's only coming from the northern end. So I'm like, that's GI? I thought that was the south.
The other way.
Yeah, and it said apparently not, but Zofran is all they called in. But yeah, I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't.
I hope not too.
I'm usually pretty lucky, knock wood. Well.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump off and you can say goodbye.
Yep. All right.
Talk later. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
I'll see you out here. Okay, everybody. Well, my goodness, we certainly had a we meaning me had a very interesting learning experience today. I am glad it happened because it was very civil. It was me. I was just like a deer in headlights because I kind of like the genie, and I knew very quickly that that genie was not going back in that bottle, not anytime soon. And it was totally a me problem. It wasn't an anybody else problem. It was a me problem. And but I'm glad it happened. Well, hell, it has to happen sometime, right? But Queen Bee, I don't think you're still in here. But if by chance you are, well, my goodness, I had mad props for you before I had any idea of, like, what would you call that? Like the wild card, the unknown? I guess, well, Steve was kind of like my wild card, my unknown. Because really, I never, and Steve was very respectful to me. I think Steve, it's funny because I did hear him say, and I've heard other people say this, that, who was the last person who said some version of, well, I don't talk about this on my channel, but I'll come to your channel and do it. One of those kind of things. Thank you, Truth Hearts. I appreciate that. But Steve did. He had an agenda. I'm not hating on the man for it. This is the name of the game. Oh, you're welcome, Nonsense. My pleasure. It is. It's the name of the game. Thanks, Ellie, and God bless you for throwing that life. You threw me a life ring, girl, because I think you might have seen I was struggling, and I appreciated you jumping in there with a life preserver. Oh, hey, beer can. I didn't see you, but I see somebody responding to you. Hi. But yeah, I very quickly found out that, I did not, it's definitely a much more, it's diplomacy. There you go. That's the word. It's diplomacy. So now if I was Bullhorn Betty, I would start saying that I have accepted a position at the United Nations. I will be representing, but it really is, because unless you're just a shit person, okay, you do not want to purposely be rude to someone who has given you no reason to be rude to them. Although Steve, I gotta say, I was a little like that name that I said we weren't mentioning, we were not going to summon. I'm not about manifesting the devil and manifesting the bad juju. So that was the only part where I was like, come on now. We talked about this once, twice, 3 times. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just part of being an adult is naturally we all have people that we know or know in this context and like, respect, appreciate, and it is a delicate balance to not, because honestly, I'm full disclosure, 100% truth. As soon as I heard him say Nonsense's name, and then I put it together, and I was like, oh, he's not a fan. Oh, this is going to be sticky because I don't want her to be upset with me because I don't even know him. The only way to handle it was like I did. And I hope she was very gracious and listen, Steve, I got no issue with you. Obviously, all of this situation predates me, thank God. And I'm not looking to, this isn't kindergarten. We don't all have to like everybody. And well, Nonsense, I appreciate that. But believe me, I started squirming in my seat a little bit. What is that they say? Oh, I'm not gonna, that when they say, yeah, never mind. We'll just leave that there. I was in the hot seat a little bit, but it was a good learning experience. And hey, had to happen eventually. So, all right, everybody, my sciatic nerve is killing me. I'm at the end of my ability to sit. The shoes would preclude me from standing, and I'm hungry. I want to go eat. Much like Betty, I haven't eaten all day. Oh, we'll go over that tomorrow. We'll pull up. No, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so we'll do it Friday or somewhere about. And I do want to do Saturday. I hope you guys will come back where we can, we'll brainstorm YouTube court because I really want to do that. I think it would be fun. Okay. All right, everybody. I hope y'all have a fantastic night. I hope the plague does not visit you as it has visited my home. And if you don't see me for a few days, you will know why. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic evening, and I will see you soon. Bye.